So, sports fans, it's your man D back. Speaking my sports talk. All right, check it out. We're talking Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford. Look, sorry guys, I'm running late. Sorry, you guys know how I do sometimes. Running my mouth, man. Running my mouth on World Combat. Actually, I was on two lives to tell y'all the truth. Talking with Ring IQ. He was talking about something interesting, and then um I stopped by World Combat Sports and got into an interesting conversation. So do apologize, but we're here now, cranking, ready to go. Terence Crawford, Shawn Porter, and here's the thing. This is just what I think. Now, I don't think that it should be any heat. Like, I'm kind of reluctant to put heat on Terence Crawford for making this fight, right? We can't really put heat on him for making this fight because, it is fair to say that Shawn Porter had an opportunity and he may be doing this now because he doesn't really have anything in his window, nothing interesting going on for himself. This is a way for him to get back to a title shot and all of that. So all of the cards are stacked in the deck of Shawn Porter right now. So he has every reason to go after Terence Crawford, uh, in this fight. Okay, fine. But at the same note, Terence Crawford, if it's not going to be Spence, not going to be Manny Pacquiao, then why not Shawn Porter? That's my thing. So it's not to put heat on him, but Shawn Porter is saying that he'll take the fight. So if he'll take the fight, we know that this Spence Crawford thing ain't going to happen. That's what we all want. I would like Spence Crawford. I'm sure everybody would like that. So we know that that's not going to happen. Pacquiao is talking about currently fighting McGregor. So 9 times out of 10, that won't happen, and he'll probably vacate that belt. So no heat. We can't push anything on Crawford at this point. But if it's not going to be Spence, if it's not going to be Pacquiao, then why not Shawn Porter? Because, now we have to look at this thing when people say, well, Shawn Porter don't want to fight Bud and all of that. Okay, I get that, but that's just not the case now. It's the same thing that when we talk about Devin Haney and Javier Fortuna. Okay, these guys didn't want to fight you at one point in time, but they want to fight you now. I don't care that Shawn Porter didn't want to fight Terence Crawford 2 years ago. That don't really matter to me. He wants to fight you now. And if you're not going to get Errol Spence, you're not going to get Manny Pacquiao, then maybe you should just answer this call right here. Let me see. Yuli, what's good? Tim Zoo, Warp Speed, Ralph Fun Real in the building. What's good? Sorry, guys, I came late. I know I was way late. Mark Pinkerton, what's up? What's up with you, fam? Iceman, what's up? What's up? So yeah, if you're not gonna fight, if you're not gonna get either of these fights that you want, because I don't have no problem. I believe Crawford wants Spence. I believe Spence wants to fight Crawford. I believe both of these guys want their money. That's the thing. They want their money. So I wanted to pick that up for you guys now. And my thing is this: I agree. Back when Crawford wanted to fight Porter, or he offered to fight Porter, Porter said, "Nah, he's not interested. He had things in front of him and all of that." Okay, I get it. Then it came to the point in time where it was a mutual. Of them wanted to fight each other because they was like, they both had things in front of them. It was the friendship. Crawford, when he first challenged Shawn Porter, is because he challenged everyone over there on the PBC side, and he wasn't going to leave Shawn Porter out the mix. He said that Shawn Porter was one of the top guys, and he wanted to fight all the top guys, and Shawn didn't want to fight him, but that's old news. Now this is new news currently with Devin Haney. They offered Javier Fortuna. Javier Fortuna had a path to Lomachenko. He declined the fight. So Devin and them offered him the fight, but he declined it. But now it's nowadays. And Javier Fortuna is knocking on your door. And you don't have a fight in front of you. So with Crawford and Devin Haney, they're in the same situation with like Javier Fortuna and Shawn Porter. Yeah, they may have turned the fight down with you guys earlier on for whatever reason, but now they're talking about fighting. Shawn Porter, if, if Terence Crawford is willing to say yes, the fight will happen, right? And I'm not even going to read this article out, guys. It's on boxing. So it's also on Box 24. CBS, I think, has it, so you guys can go read. It's a few different articles on it. And they quote Shawn Porter. So when they put things in quotes, then it has to be from the person, or they could get sued for defamation. So they have it in quotation. So it's things that Shawn Porter has said, and then he said it consistently. It's the same exact words on all the different fights. So safe to assume that Shawn Porter said these things. But basically, Shawn Porter says that he's willing to fight Terence Crawford. He's willing to get in there and get in the ring with him. But it's on Terence Crawford. So now Shawn Porter is putting the onus on Terence Crawford. I will fight you. This is a fight in front of you. So, but what you gonna do? Because you probably won't get Spence. You probably won't get Pacquiao. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, they're good friends. They are good friends. But one of the friends is saying, "Let's do it. Let's get it in." Kylie, what's good? What's good? Day game. Day game. Let me put the link in. Day game. Where does Keith Thurman fit into this? I'm explaining that, Keith. What about it? Boxing virus in the building. What's good with you, fam? Crawford vs. Spence gonna be a big fight. Yeah, yeah, but I ain't even. It's not even. I don't even. It's not really about Crawford and Spence. It's about what is Crawford gonna do if he doesn't get Spence. And again, I'm not putting no heat on Crawford to take a Porter fight. But if not Porter, what? Because there is a situation with Manny Pacquiao that's getting ready to arrive. Should he get stripped of that WBA title, which he probably will, then your Dennis Ugas actually comes into the picture. So forget about Keith Thurman, period. Like, I know Keith Thurman fans would like Keith Thurman to get a chance, but I don't really see where he factors in. What could factor in is, well, first off, let me let Dick get that off before I go on. What's up, Dick Gang?
Yo, can you hear me pretty decent? I'm driving. I'm trying this new Bluetooth out.
Nah, you clear. You real clear.
All right, nah, man. What I was saying was, Keith Thurman falls in the mix because as a fight fan of Bud, I would prefer the Thurman fight over the Porter fight. Thurman already beat Porter. I mean, I would prefer to see that fight before Porter fight, and I'll catch Porter later. If Thurman don't want to fight, then I'll fight Porter. But Thurman would be number one. Already, Errol said he don't even want to fight Thurman, so I think that's the fight to make.
Okay, so here's where I'm gonna go with that. Thurman don't do much for Crawford as Porter does. Period. Only Thurman fans, and I'm not saying you, but only Thurman fans believe that Thurman offers that value. He's Keith once upon a time Thurman. And the Keith Thurman that beat Porter and Garcia, I don't believe this version of Keith Thurman doesn't beat either of those guys. And a lot of other people don't as well. Um, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at any rankings, but I'm not sure where Keith Thurman even ranks in the top five. Because right off the bat, we gotta have Shawn Porter, Spence, Pacquiao, and Bud Crawford, right? So does he slide into the top five? Like, you guys is a name to be mentioned. I'm not sure where he's ranked in the top five, but if he was ranked in the top five, it would certainly be number five if he's in the top five. Uh, Therefore, Shawn Porter's a more valid threat. He's done, he just came off of a fight with Spence. It's a common opponent. Um, People consider it a big test, and I'm pretty sure most people would consider it a bigger test than Keith Thurman at this point. So it does much more for Terence Crawford. Now, the other thing that I was about to bring up concerning this Keith Thurman situation, where I don't really think he fits in again, is because if Manny Pacquiao is to go over and fight Conor McGregor, then he will be stripped of that IBF title. And on them stripping him, most likely your Dennis Ugas will be elevated or even stuck into a fight um, to challenge for that super. But I think they'll probably just elevate him. Now he becomes a factor because if Terence Crawford can go over there and fight your Dennis Ugas at that belt, I believe Ugas and that need for him to have that second belt would supersede Shawn Porter and definitely Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman is on the outside looking in at this point, and he desires a fight and want to fight, but maybe that attitude that he had before should have resonated when he was in that position. Most certainly did. And even if there were situations, because Keith Thurman fans like to say, well, the injury, his arrogance and the way he was talking about it rubbed guys the wrong way. You heard what Spence said, he just don't like him. So even if the business was the reason, some of the things Spence said, the kid, this and I'm doing bigger things and all of this arrogance he had about the situation. He's on the outside looking in. And, coming struggling with Josecito Lopez and then losing to Manny Pacquiao, that shows you that he's not once upon a time Thurman. Because once upon a time, Thurman would have washed Josecito Lopez and he would have beaten Manny Pacquiao. I don't know how he would have beaten him, but he wouldn't have gotten dropped and he would have beaten Manny Pacquiao. But he would have washed Josecito Lopez. He's just not that guy anymore. He's not, and he's not going to return there because every fight he goes back into injury. Thurman's is he's had his career, but his time's done. His time's literally done, and all of this hope that Thurman will return to his natural form or ever be what he was before, forget about it. This is an injury-prone fighter now. He's up in age, and his time is done. So uh, Keith Thurman don't really fit into this. Look, how much credit did they give Bud Crawford for beating Cal Brook? Very little, because people know that this was a diminished Cal Brook. This is not the Cal Brook that brought that type of danger. That's what Keith Thurman is. And it will definitely be talked about after Crawford beats him. After Crawford beats him, because he will beat Keith Thurman, right? And after Crawford beats him, and God forbid he stops him, right? Then they're gonna go, oh, well, that Keith Thurman was washed anyway. He been coming off of injuries. He lost to Pacquiao. He didn't even look good to Josecito Lopez. And I'm saying all of these things now. People won't say that shit until after Crawford beat the hell out of him. Then they're gonna get, oh, you know why? He only did that because all of the things that D. Jefferson was saying since the goddamn Josecito Lopez fight. He's Keith once upon a time Thurman, man. And he don't really fit into this discussion. I mean, that's just how I see Keith Thurman.
No, I mean I see that. I mean the way you see it, that's cool, but I disagree with a lot of your points. I think Keith Thurman
Fuck
is
you,
above.
Charles.
I think Keith Thurman is above Shawn Porter. He beat Shawn Porter. He lost one belt due to injuries. He lost another belt to Manny Pacquiao. So yeah, Keith Thurman is more relevant than what you're saying. A lot more relevant. Like I said, he's above Shawn Porter, so he's
He's
number
not.
four.
He's not.
Well,
Because if he
he already beat Shawn Porter,
that game, he's not
and
above Sean. Okay, that game, hold on. Hey, he beat Sean. We agree. Let me tell you why I said he's not above Sean Porter. In the atmosphere of boxing today, you could take a poll and rate who's ranked higher. Who do you guys rank higher, Keith Thurman or Sean Porter? You'll probably get 99 to 97 to 3% Porter over Thurman. So I'm not talking about his resume. See, this is where boxing fans get lost. This is the dumb shit that they fell into for Tank Davis versus Gamboa, Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. We start leaning on what these people were and what they done before and we don't look at what they are now.
So
I mean, yeah,
you talking about popularity?
no. I'm talking about level of threat, ranking, where people perceive them. I'm not talking about popularity or none of that. I'm talking about what type of a threat is Keith Thurman for Crawford. Much less of a threat than Porter. What type of fighter is Keith Thurman compared to Porter at this stage in their career? He's less, right? So if we sit here and go into these fights, oh no, well, Keith is still relevant because he did this, and this. What is he doing now? And what can he potentially do now? None of those things. All of those
Why
things
you
that y'all praise him for, he can't do that anymore.
why
And
you
those
say
are the
that?
facts, man. What
Why
do
you
you
say that?
mean? He's a it.
He
Hey, this
came
is why
off
I
a
say that.
long
Hold up. Ask me why I say that, and I'm gonna tell you. This is why I say that. Josecito Lopez, he struggled. Manny Pacquiao, he lost. And I am perfectly confident that the Keith Thurman that beat either Shawn Porter or Danny Garcia wins both of those fights. He washes Lopez and he beats Manny, but he didn't. So what shows me that he's on the decline is Keith Thurman. Not to mention, when he got out of the fight with Danny, what did he do? He went into injury. He comes back out of injury, fights Josecito Lopez, and gets injured. This is Keith Thurman said this. He got injured, right? It didn't cause him to leave boxing, but he got injured in that fight, Josecito Lopez. Then he gets into a fight with Manny Pacquiao, loses, and gets injured again. So I'm only going by what I'm seeing out of Keith Thurman. Not no hopes and dreams that he will return to original form. There, I'm going by what he was being shown here. A struggle with Josecito Lopez. If this is the Thurman that you know of, you know damn well he shouldn't have struggled with Josecito Lopez. You know this.
Well, he's coming off of a long layoff. So
Okay,
yeah, I
that's my
mean,
point. That's my
and
point.
we can all see that Jose Cito Lopez is better than what we kind of thought he was also because he's making a little name for himself right now.
Yeah,
So Jose Cito Lopez is not garbage. He
said
struggled,
that
yeah.
Josecito Lopez is garbage. I didn't allude to that.
No, no.
Josecito Lopez is a good fighter.
What I'm saying is he come off a long layoff. He's getting his mojo back. He had a tough fight with Pacquiao. I think he won the later half of the fight. Um, like I say, he already beat Danny Garcia, who Earl just fought. He already beat Shawn Porter, who we talking about. Yeah, maybe he's not as popular because he's been on the shelf for a little bit,
So
but
I didn't say
as
nothing about popularity, fam. I said nothing
no, no,
about it. I'm bringing that to
right,
the
but
table because it's not about his popularity. It's
as
not
far as
about
a
that.
as far as a quality win, a one loss Keith Thurman, I think he's the guy Crawford should fight before Earl catch him because if Earl catch Keith, then it's pretty much all 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 Bud have left is leftovers. That's of the top dogs. Then you're gonna have to look at a Boots Ennis or a Virgil Ortiz. I think that's the fights that's coming up next for the guys. But
Right.
yeah, I think Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, um, Ugas, all these guys are at the top, and I think they should all just get a shot. They need to
Okay.
start fighting each other.
Yeah. Let me rewind back to Keith Thurman though, because you talked about him coming off of this layoff, right? Struggling with Josecito Lopez and losing a fight, right? And then you said that he's still a factor, but you didn't add to the context that he's back on another fucking injury layoff, fam. So let's rewind. What did Keith Thurman look like? What's up, random boxing talk? What did Keith Thurman look like when he came off of an injury layoff? Josecito Lopez is what he looked like. Well, currently now, he will be coming off another injury layoff. I ask again, what did he look like when he came off of an injury layoff? Josecito Lopez. So I don't want to talk about what he looked like in the second half of a Manny fight because he wasn't coming off that 2-year layoff in the second half of the Manny fight. And he will be coming off of another injury layoff, going in there with Crawford. he'll get the hell beat out of him, fam. He's not a factor. No matter how we want to squeeze Keith Thurman in there, it is just another Brook situation, in my opinion. He's beating a guy that's a shell of himself. That's what he would be doing. He would be beating a guy that's a shell of himself. Porter ain't no damn shell of himself. He's probably better than what he was when he fought Thurman. And that's not even a joke. Because he's progressed and Thurman has regressed. Bro, these are just like, I'm not even, this is no hate on Keith Thurman. This is what he's showing us. And then he's getting injury after injury after injury. Man, like fans just don't want to let go. Once upon a time, Thurman is gone. Keith, once upon a time, Thurman is gone. And he ain't never coming back. The only thing we have now is Keith. Once upon a time, Thurman. And that dude don't stand a chance against Bud. He doesn't beat Porter now. It's not like he washed Shawn Porter when he did fight him. He didn't wash him. It was a good damn fight. And you're telling me a good fight with Shawn Porter, but Shawn Porter has progressed while Keith Thurman has regressed. What is their next fight going to look like? It's the same situation with freaking Canelo and GGG. That second fight, that's the last time they're going to have a good fight. If Canelo fights GGG now, it's a wash, man. And everybody knows that. After what Deverenchenko showed us, GGG's declining. Canelo's looking great. If they fight again, it's a wash. It's the same situation with Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter, man. Thurman's a shell of himself. He's not the fighter he used to be. I mean, let's just be honest about this shit here. And he's coming off another fucking injury layoff. That's where he started to terribly decline, was from the injuries. He's back on an injury layoff. That dude's not a factor in this, man. As much as we want to, he's a name. He's nothing more than what these guys use, like the Gambos, and he's a name right now. He's not a threat. He's not a. I know I'm hurting some people feeling South Korea. I know it, but it's just the facts, man. They could be fuming all they want. This dude is a fucking shell of himself, Keith Thurman. I'm not trying to. I cannot pump Keith Thurman up, because again, this is a guy. I'm just going with the timeline. He was on an injury layoff. Okay. He was. What you got here, BDA? Dude, man. There go Keith. Oh my gosh, bro. That's hilarious, dog. But yeah, he's on the injury layoff, man, right? And what he showed me after coming off of an injury layoff was Jose Lopez. So my assumption is he's not going to be the second half of the Manny Pacquiao fight when he returns. He's going to be more like the Keith Thurman we seen in the Josecito Lopez fight. Now you tell me that game. How much faith do you have in the Keith Thurman that you saw in the Josecito Lopez fight versus Terence Crawford? How much faith?
I have Terence Crawford.
Easily, fam. That Keith Thurman that showed up against Josecito Lopez, Terence Crawford beat him easily.
But DJ, I got Terence Crawford beating every form and fashion of a Keith Thurman. I have Terence Crawford stopping Shawn Porter. I mean stopping him. Brutal.
Well, brutal. I don't. I absolutely do not. I absolutely do not, because who has he faced at a caliber of Shawn Porter? Yeah, he stopped all of these guys. Did he put Jeff Horn out cold?
He's gonna make Shawn.
Let's just do this one at a time, because I'm trying to set a timeline up here. And did he put Jeff Horn out cold? Did he?
Well, the fight was stopped. I mean, you can't put him out if the fight was stopped. It was a massacre.
Come on, bro. I know the difference. A stoppage is not all the same.
It was a massacre.
Okay, hold on. You have TKOs, right?
Massacre.
Okay, dude, can I get this out? You have TKOs and you have KOs. KOs, the guys don't make the count. They're out of there. They're done. A lot of times they're on the damn ground and fucking spasms. TKOs could be a corner throwing the towel. The referee just saying, "Look, he can't defend himself." Guys still. That's a TKO. So stops are stops, but stops don't mean the same thing, which is why I'm trying to break this down. Jeff Horn was on his feet. I'm not even going to ask the questions. I'm just going to go down the line. Jeff Horn was on his feet. Jose Benavidez, he stopped him, but got back to his feet. Right? Khan put on a goddamn show. He was terrified. He could have fought some more. That's the fact. Kavialaskis, we see what happened, right? Kell Brook, wave off. We see what happened. So when we talk about this stopping power of Terence Crawford, it's not like he's putting guys' lights out. None of those motherfuckers had the chin of Shawn Porter because he has one of the best chins, 147. And that's the fact. None of them had the chin of a Shawn Porter. None of them. So we cannot just assume that Terence Crawford just stopped Shawn Porter. To me, it's just the same silly assumption that people were making about Errol Spence just going there and stopping Shawn Porter. It's a disservice to Porter, fam. It's a disservice to Shawn Porter to say that he just gets stopped by Terence Crawford. Shawn Porter hasn't shown us the propensity to be stopped by anyone, and Terence Crawford has not shown us the propensity to stop a top 5 guy. Those guys he stopped don't offer the problems that Shawn Porter offer, and they don't have the fucking chin Shawn Porter has. None of them. So we can't just say Terence Crawford stops Shawn Porter. We can't. I'm not even sure if he does that. He even go further with it. It could be a split decision fight. He could really cause that to be a split decision fight because one thing we notice, if we notice anything about Terence Crawford, whether people want to admit it or not, people have success when they are able to offer enough pressure on them. And the reason I know this to be true is because when he fought, I would put the damn footage up. They keep taking blocking my lives when I do it. But when he fought Jeff Horn, who cannot box, he is not a good boxer. All he offered was pressure to Crawford. He backed him into the corner and caught him with a 3-piece combo. One to the body, a straight, and then a damn hook. And then Crawford popped Jeff Horn, used lateral movement, and got out of the way. My point is, if a weak boxer like Jeff Horn can just apply pressure and put it on Crawford, why the fuck can't Shawn Porter? Can't say he don't box better than damn Jeff Horn because he boxes much better than Jeff Horn. So it's like, man, this whole idea that Crawford's just gonna stop Shawn Porter because he's stopping Brook, it shouldn't even have been in there. Or he stopped the gimp leg Jose Benavidez after beating him for 12 rounds. Now Jose Benavidez has a tougher chin than than Porter because it took Crawford a full 12 rounds to stop Jose Benavidez, and he barely got the job done. So now Jose Benavidez is tougher and more durable than Shawn Porter. I have to see him knock out Shawn Porter because this is the most durable guy he's faced at 147. And taking 12 rounds to knock out a gimp leg Jose Benavidez that couldn't be mobile like Shawn Porter's going to be mobile. You know how Shawn can move around. Benavidez couldn't even be that mobile. Nah, bro. I'm not like I didn't do it for Spence. I had all my fellow Spence fans running around. He's gonna stop Porter. I said, y'all stupid. He's not gonna stop Porter. I said it's gonna go to decision. I was perfectly honest with it about Spence. And I had a bunch of people running around me. Oh, come on, D. Spence this, Spence this. These are my fellow Spence fans. And I said, bro, I don't care what you say. He's not gonna stop Shawn Porter, fam. He's not gonna do it. Did he stop him? Fuck no, he didn't stop. He dropped him, but he didn't stop him. And now
Bro,
I'm
I
going
never
to
said I,
bandwagon and say he's going to stop him. He's not going to stop Shawn Porter. You said you think he will. I'm telling you, I don't think he will at all.
well, I'm gonna
Because what
say
has he
this.
shown?
I'm gonna say this. I never did think that Earl was gonna stop Shawn Porter. I never did believe that. I never once believed that. I
Well, I
believed that
didn't
it
know.
was gonna go to. I knew it was gonna go to a decision. I thought Earl was gonna stop Mikey, but you know what I'm saying. You know, I mean, it was a boxing. It was a boxing class. You know, I think he did try and stop Mikey, but Mikey is a top tier guy that if you go in the fight and you're a top tier boxer, and you go in there not to get knocked out, you not most of the time you're not gonna get knocked out. If you go in the fight in the high guard and just go in there not to get knocked out, and you're a high class boxer, you won't get knocked out most of the time. And that's what Mikey did. Mikey never fought to win. And Mikey's victory was to make it to 12 rounds. So, you know, but still, he still tried to knock the guy out, and he couldn't do it. Uh, I knew he wasn't knocking Shawn Porter out, but Terence Crawford is gonna would stop Shawn Porter. That's easy work, really. It'll look like Felix Diaz. It'll look like that fight.
Right. Yeah. Well, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it, man. I'm not like, see, just like people got all overhyped and super hype about Errol Spence. I think that's what people are doing with Crawford. Just that simple, bro. I think that's
Nah,
exactly.
D, nah, D. I'm gonna tell you, D. You on the wrong side of the street, and I know you know better. I don't know what's making you stay on that side of the street.
What side?
Uh,
Their game. Break that first down. I want you to break that down. What you mean by I'm on the wrong? What saying on what side of the street? What is that referencing to?
I'm
What?
talking about it more so reference to the fanatical fanboyism of Earl Spence, bro.
No.
Look, bro.
Hold on. Hold on.
Listen, bro.
No.
The
Hold on. Hold on.
fanatical, and
No.
you know it, D. And
Nigga, but first and foremost, I done told y'all this dumb shit before. Like y'all could try to say stupid shit like that and then keep on. I'm cutting y'all off on that bullshit every fucking time. Every fucking time. Okay? Rewind. I told you this the last time you tried to throw that silly ass charge out. This is something that a fanboy would not do for the life of them. They will never call Errol Spence a dump. Okay? Get this through your head. A fanboy would never call Errol Spence a duck. I have a fucking video calling him a duck, flaming the shit out of him. So I
who
don't
did he
want to
duck?
hear you. Hold up. Hold on. I don't even want to hear you come up here talking about something. I'm on that. I'm not nothing like these fucking idiots on either side, whether it's Crawford fanboys or Spence fanboys. Okay, I call it straight, and I have a video flaming my guy Errol Spence. So I don't want to hear shit about me being even associated with fanboys or on their side, and I'm not gonna let y'all get away with that. If you'd have seen the video, how could you say that? Because a fanboy is
Who
not
did
going to flame their own guy, are they? Are they? Do you agree with that? Is a fanboy going
who
to flame Spence and call him a duck? Do you agree with that?
who did he duck? I didn't see that video. Who did he duck?
That's irrelevant. Would a fanboy call him a duck? That's what I'm asking you.
It all depends on,
No,
on
no,
on
no,
if he
no, no, no.
backtrack.
You're not being
It
honest
all
now.
depends.
No, you're not
It
being
all
honest now. No, no,
no. Okay, no. It
no,
wouldn't. A
no, no.
fanboy would
I'm not
not.
gonna make a statement and then not be honest up here. What makes a fanboy is that they're delusional about their fighter. They cannot come out and say nothing wrong about their damn fighter. Okay? That's what makes a fanboy a fanboy. So if you're gonna make a comment, be honest about it. No fucking fanboy is going to call their fighter a duck or say anything negative about their fighter. That's what makes them a fanboy. So how you gonna sit here and try to rationalize that a fanboy would actually call his own fighter a duck? How?
Who did you call him a duck? Who was he ducking? Who did you say
Terence
he was ducking?
fucking Crawford, dead game.
Okay,
And I have a
okay,
video
cool.
up doing saying it, but you sitting up here trying to associate me with some fucking fanboys.
So are you saying it wasn't because of the
No, no,
70
no, no, no,
30
no, no,
comment?
no, no. Let's stick to this first, because we're gonna get past this first. You call me a fucking fanboy, right?
Okay, let me tell you why.
No,
Let me
no, I
tell
don't
you
care
why.
why. We're gonna stick to. We're not gonna bounce around this. You call me a fanboy. We're gonna get to the end of this one first, and you need to say that I misspoke. Okay, like period. That's how this has to end. You call me a fanboy, but I just showed you that I did something that fanboys completely would not do. So you have to retract that, and then you can tell me whatever the hell you want. First, you have to retract that because fanboys don't call it straight like that. They don't. They can't bring themselves to doing it. This is why we call them fanboys. You can give them all the proof right in their face, but they're not going to want to hear it. That's why they're called fanboys. So since you made an incorrect statement, we can continue to talk, but you need to retract that because you just threw out a shot that didn't apply, man. Period. You can't justify that. You can't.
Right. Hold on, D. Hold up, D. Let me get my shit together.
Yeah, yeah, take your time, bro. But it ain't like, look, man, I say things that what did you, the comment that Corey put up there. I'm going to say things that people don't like. That's what I do. Don't make me no fucking fanboy. I don't fanboy for no one. Tyson Fury, you idiot. How the fuck am I a fanboy? Do you know what fanboys do? Go look at these Lomachenko fanboys. These Errol Spence fanboys. These Anthony Joshua fanboys. You can't say one word wrong about them. And they all down your fucking throat, fam. You know, Canelo fanboys don't want to hear nothing about the weight clauses and all of this type of shit, the computer raw. If it exists, it exists. Don't try to deny it. Fanboys deny the truth. So when you want to charge somebody for a fanboy and they pull up on you about that shit, you gotta correct yourself, fam. If you want to call me a fanboy, we can have that discussion, but I need you to prove to me how I'm a fanboy. That's what we're gonna move forward with that. You gotta prove to me how I'm a fanboy. What's your rationale of calling me a fanboy on
Uh,
social
all
media?
right. I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. This is my thing, D. Okay. All right. I didn't see that video. Okay, but you told me you made the video. Okay. So look, that's my bad. A fanboy wouldn't have done that. Not the way I'm looking at it. Because what I'm talking about is all some of my favorite channels and some of the same people I rock with. They on live crying, shedding tears because Terence Crawford said he had a screw loose, and there are actually grown men crying with red eyes, shedding tears because Terence Crawford said Earl had a screw loose, and they said he could have lost his life. And I mean, really, it got to the point where you know what I'm saying. I don't even want to be cool with these type of cats because I'm learning more and more about these people, bro. And
Mhm.
the fanboyism is just it's worse than Deontay Wilder fanboys. Cause I'm a Wilder fanboy. I'm a Wilder fanboy and I'm a Bud Crawford fanboy, but my fanboyism don't go that deep, bro. I mean, to be crying and to be worshiping and that's on another type level. And
I ain't no fanboy of none of these fighters, fam. If Teofimo, my top five fighters, Errol Spence lose to Crawford, Anthony Joshua beats up fucking Fury. Teofimo lose to the winner of Jose Ramirez or even fucking Devin Haney, right? Demel Charlo loses to Brian Castano. And Canelo Alvarez loses to whoever the fuck he fights next. I'm gonna sleep like a goddamn baby, fam. I'm not gonna give a shit. How many of my great fighters of the past have taken a fucking loss? It's this new age era that put everything into a fighter loss losing. I don't give a rat's ass about that, fam. That's what separates me from fanboys. I don't care if these guys lose. If they lose, they fucking lose. This is combat sports. I'm a fanboy of boxing. If you want to call me a fanboy, tell me I'm a fanboy of boxing. The sport of boxing. Okay? Then I will happily, happily accept being a fanboy of the sport of boxing. No beef. But don't call me no fanboy of any fighter because I never display that, fam. Not for my favorite fighters. Now, South Corey made a joke. He's like, D not a fanboy of Errol Spence. I know who he will fanboy for. And of course, it would be Teofimo Lopez. But again, people get on me for Teofimo Lopez, but every time I defend him, I'm defending him well, right? When the $1.2 million situation happened, Croy and everybody else was over here ragging me. No, you're not keeping the same energy about Teofimo. But what happened? Exactly what the fuck I said. Because they were trying to say, call him a duck. He don't want the Lomachenko smoke. All of that. I was like, y'all stupid. He do want the Lomachenko smoke. He just don't want to get screwed over by Bob Arum. And then they all of a sudden came out of their pocket with an extra 600,000. And then the narrative started that Lomachenko had to pull out of his pocket. No, he didn't. Lomachenko came out and announced that. It was Bob Arum and them that pulled out of their pocket and gave that kid more money what he deserved. But everybody was over here, you gotta call him a duck. But nobody talks about the Teofimo video I have flaming his ass about the Nakatani. Even Junior Lopez and I went back before because he said, "Man, my son, this, that, and the third." And I said, "Junior, I know, I feel you, bro. I know this." And he might have meant that, but when he says no more tall guys, whatever reference he meant it in, you can't say shit like that. Fans don't accept that. So I gave him flame. So don't call me a
Dead game, you a fucking fangirl. You lick beer.
if I'm gonna flame my own guy, bro. Hold on with all of that, man. You come in here being rude. Uh, if I'm gonna flame my own guy, right? You see what I mean? It doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. Fanboys don't give flame to their own people. That don't fit, fam. Especially not only that when I pride myself on calling it straight over here. If I call something double standard and you put me on it and it's double standard, I'm like, okay, well then I gotta give the guy a pass, the other guy a pass. If that's what I said before, and it's my guy, then I have to give the other guy a pass. But most of the time, people don't have to do that to me because if I hold this guy to a certain standard, I'm going to hold the next guy to a certain standard. Like Canelo, another one of my favorite fighters. Just last week or the week before last, I flamed him about this 160, 168 nonsense. You promised me 4 belt undisputed at 168. I mean, at 160, you never accomplished that. Now you telling me this song and dance about 160. I'm not hearing it, Canelo. Then I had other Canelo fans come, no, but D, you can't say that because D, you can't say that, but D. Those are fanboys. Because regardless of the fact that Canelo promised you something that he didn't deliver, and you just want to jump on his balls and say, okay, well, he's going to do it at 168 now. But you have to keep in the back of your mind that he sold you this dream before to do it at 160, and he didn't do it. See, I'll hold them accountable for shit like that. Fanboys don't do that, big game. So you may have had experience with all of these other channels, but bro, you ain't getting that shit over here. So don't associate me with those idiots. You can debate me on whatever you want, but I don't have a you idiot segment so that I can be an idiot. Okay? That's why I have that you idiot segment for people that do the shit that you're talking about. And I ain't gonna be a hypocrite and be the idiot that they are. You feel me? Not here, fam. So anyway, I
No,
don't know. Oh, go
I
ahead.
hear you, fam. No, I hear you. I hear you. I had to step out the vehicle for a minute, but I'm back. Nah, but like I say, man, that's my bad. I shouldn't have probably said that if you made that statement. But like I say, I'm going off of the foolishness, man. I'm a super duper Bud Crawford fan, and they got these big channels that are hating on Bud for no damn reason, bro. I don't see the hatred that I'm seeing for Bud, man. It's on a stupid level, bro. And I'm rocking with Bud 100%, and I'm gonna go to battle with my dude, bro, because that's my favorite boxer, bro. So it's some tribalism shit, but that's what it is in boxing. That's how we get down, I guess.
No, yeah. Hey, I fucks with you, but you be fucking with me. Some of them
Right.
comments you put in that damn. No, these AIs, man. Some of these comments you put in the chat you just put them in there to rile me up. So if I call you a hater or a fanboy, don't act like you putting those comments in the chat to play nice AIs. You know what I mean? If you can dish it, you can take it. No, get some thick skin, you hater. No, but yeah, man. I mean, look,
Hey,
I don't
D,
care.
D,
Call
D,
me
real
a
quick.
fan.
Go ahead. What I
No,
was
I
gonna
was
ask
just
you,
saying, I
what
was
I
just
was
saying,
gonna.
I don't care about you or anybody else calling me a fan, but just prove it. If you gonna call me, you're gonna call me. Well, just tell me all right, and then we good. But yeah, go ahead.
Now, what I was gonna ask you, bro, where does Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, man? Look, okay, Canelo Alvarez was about 24 years old when he fought Floyd Mayweather. These guys are in the same age or maybe older than Canelo when Canelo fought Mayweather. When are we gonna start asking for these younger guys to step up and fight with some of these champions and give these younger guys a chance to see
Canelo,
what they got?
Canelo had already beaten champions and big names. By the time he fought Floyd, Ron in his boots has beaten no one. Just had a no decision against Chris Van Heerden would have been his most valid win at this point. Um, he's beaten no one. Canelo had already beaten champions, beaten names of boxing. Jerom's done diddly. As far as Virgil, he's ranked. He's actually, I think, number one in the division, so he has more stake than Deron in his boots to be mentioned into the discussion, you know. But as far as Deron in his boots, he doesn't like his management team and the way they operating right now. They're not signed to anybody. That kid has enough talent that he could probably sign to anyone, but this business of boxing is dirty, and so signing to these networks and promoters, you got to face a whole lot of bullshit. And so they kind of really take the route that Devin Haney and Bill Haney. This is why you got to respect Bill Haney for the way that he's positioned himself and his son in this boxing game, where they don't have to be restricted or confined by a lot of these bullshit contracts and these situations with these networks and promoters. Bill Haney can move freely, and he's collecting money on the promotional side, so he's positioned himself very well. Whereas John Duran in his boots is moving in the same way they are, but they're not in the position that Haney and Bill are in. You see what I mean? So if he doesn't sign at least a 3-fight, 4-fight deal with one of these majors, there's a good chance that he doesn't get the names to get him noticed. And that's the problem. Virgil is signed with Golden Boy, so he's getting the names.
So what do you think? So even a Virgil, I like before I say Virgil, I would like to see Boots and Porter. I think that would be a good fight. But for what about Ortiz and Bud Crawford? I think Ortiz mentioned Bud Crawford's name. I think that would be a good fight for the fans.
It would be a good fight, but a lot of these good fights doesn't satisfy what these fighters need to do. Or they're like, okay, so we're talking, everybody's hollering and crying about 50-50, 60-40. What does Virgil do to increase that stock with Crawford in the Spence fight? Zero. Nothing. It doesn't help him. Virgil's a guy that Crawford should be expected to beat because he's green coming up. Not he's not experienced. This is a number one consensus, number one, number two pound for pound guy. So does it increase his stock? Does it give him leverage going at the negotiation table with Spence? No, it doesn't. Right now he has to do
Yes.
something. No, okay, hold on, big game. Let me finish, and then you can tell me why you think it does. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I understand of the boxing business of why it doesn't, and then once I finish, you can come in and give your piece. Virgil Ortiz does not help Crawford in the negotiations with Spence. Not even a little bit. Okay. What Virgil Ortiz is not established. And I was just talking to World Combat about this. What we have to understand is it's what the fans want, and then it's what the suits want. Okay. What you want, what you think is a good fight, what the fans think is a good fight, does not calculate to the money that these suits can make. So what the suits are looking at is how much money they can make, and when they put these guys into fight, how much that will increase their value, increase their stock. Okay, Virgil Ortiz and where he is in boxing right now is not going to increase the stock for Terence Crawford at the negotiation table with Errol Spence, who has fought two champions at 147 and three top five guys at 147. Okay. Not only that, he has three pay per views to Crawford's one, and every one of his pay per views produced more than Crawford's. These are the things that's going to matter at the negotiation table, not the fights that we think is a good look, not the guys that are popular to us, the guys that have stock and value. If Terence Crawford fights Manny Pacquiao, okay, Manny Pacquiao is the cash cow. So although Terence Crawford's stock is here, Errol Spence's is here, and Manny's is here. Once Terence Crawford fights Manny Pacquiao comes from here up here, then they even out him and Spence. Because now he went from low stock to stock because he just beat Manny Pacquiao. He has two belts. Now we're talking 50-50. Terence Crawford being here, fighting Virgil Ortiz, who is here, right? Why you can't see it? Because he don't have the stock, bro. So Terence Crawford fighting him doesn't increase his stock. It doesn't bring him up to Spence. That's what the suits are looking at. Now, if you can tell me I'm wrong about that day game, fine. But it's about what the suits are looking at, not our ideology, not the fact that we think it's fucked up because Terence Crawford went three weight divisions and he's considered pound for pound. That ain't what make money for those suits. So we can cry about all of those things, but a fight over Virgil Ortiz does absolutely nothing in the negotiation table. Spence, nothing. Now your floor.
Well, what I would say, you would take Virgil Ortiz, uh, a young Mexican. Uh, a lot of Mexicans really like him. He's coming up. He's a good fighter. You take Virgil Ortiz and Bud Crawford and you put them in Dallas at the Star, and you put 15,000 seats butts in the seats, or you put 10,000 butts in the seats at the Dallas Star in Dallas in Earl's hometown, and you knock out Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, I think that's a good way to make some noise also. So yeah, Virgil been talking. His trainer been talking. They will take that fight. I think Virgil and Bud in Dallas would bring some interest, and all the talk would be about the next fight.
Yeah, it's a difference in bringing some interest and making some noise at the negotiation table. It's two different discussions. So I said it does nothing for him in negotiations with Spence. So what you said was it brings some interest. Yeah, so yeah, agree with that. Still don't do a goddamn thing for the negotiations with Spence. And the reason I brought that up, I said Virgil is not going to satisfy Crawford for what he needs to do. He needs to get this fight with Spence. Virgil ain't going to help that, day. None. That shit is not going to help that. Porter would help that. Porter, common opponent, top five guy at 147, former champion, will do that. Virgil Ortiz will not. He ain't gonna do that for Crawford. Pacquiao, cash cow, belt holder, evens him out with Spence. Virgil ain't gonna do that. So what Crawford needs is not a good fight day game, because Crawford is considered one of the best fighters in boxing. He doesn't have to prove anything in a good fucking fight. What Crawford needs is the fight. And the fight is Errol Spence. So what should be on Crawford's agenda is getting something done to get the fight with Errol Spence. And Virgil, no boots, supplies that. They don't, because they're prospects, what people think they may be. Well, Virgil's a contender now, but still, people still have questions. Ain't no damn questions about Crawford. Arguably number one pound for pound. No questions. He have to prove. You don't gotta go fight any young lion to prove. That's all he'll be doing is fighting a young lion. Doesn't have anything to prove. But that's not, young lions are young lions, because guess what? They're not stars yet. You're telling him to fight a guy that's not a star yet, and it's going to increase his star power? That doesn't make sense. He needs to increase his star power to make leverage at the negotiation table with Spence. And fighting a guy who's not a star himself don't help. I don't care how much you pack some stadium and go to a hometown venue. You could do the same shit if you take that fight to Omaha, Nebraska. They'll fill the fucking seats. It's just not going to change anything with Spence. It's not, fam. He needs a marquee fighter.
So the only fight that
Yeah.
so in your eyes, the only fight for Bud is Pacquiao or Porter to build up the fight.
No, no. If Pacquiao uh fights McGregor and he vacates that belt, they elevate Dennis Ugas. This is another fight that will increase his stock, that will give him more leverage at the negotiation table. Not too sure about 50-50, but damn sure he will have more room to negotiate. You know that one thing that you talked about before, 40-40, winner takes 20. If he was to pick up that second belt off you guys, that would be something that he could probably enter that negotiation table with, type of deal, right? Or 45-50, 45-55 split, right? Something like that. But right now, 60-40, no question. If he was to fight Pacquiao, that evens the score. Fuck that. 50-50, make it happen. But fighting a Dennis you guys for that belt just gives him leverage, more leverage than he has now because he's done nothing. Like, come on, man, he's beat Jeff Horn, and then the rest of the fighters are not things that's going to blow anybody out of the water. Like Crawford beats all of Spence's opponents, but vice versa. Crawford beats everybody Spence beat, but vice versa. Vice versa. Spence beats everybody he beat at 147. He already beat Brooks, a better Brooks, a much better Kell Brooks. He already did that. So it's no question. So he has to do something to increase his stock. That's the thing. So there's other fights, man. There's other fights he could take. I would even say this. Keith Thurman will give him more leverage at the negotiation table. It's not going to, again, it's not going to make him 50-50, and it will do less than getting a belt from you guys, but it'll give him more leverage. He has to have more leverage. That's the thing. Fans are crying about being pound for pound number one. That ain't no fucking leverage because it's an objective thing. Even fucking columnists and analysts and sports writers have different pound for pound lists. It's too objective for it to be to hold any value in negotiations. Crawford got that shit just my own pound for pound. That shit doesn't mean nothing. Me and every Tom, Dick, and Harry got a different pound for pound list, man. That don't sell. Lomachenko was pound for pound. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. Marcel Naoya is on the pound for pound list. Nobody really knows who the fuck he is like that. Hardcores, we know him. It don't equate to stock because you're on the pound for pound list. Crawford need to get that shit out of his head. It don't equate to the stock, the value at the negotiation table. It don't work that way. And Crawford should know better, but then again, he might not know better because he has people handling his business. He's not handling the business. He has people doing that. So he might not get it either, to tell you the truth, even though he is in the damn sport of boxing. That's why they hire people to handle the business, to do all the dirty work behind the scenes. And a lot of these fighters are not even doing it. Why do you think so many fighters get dicked out of money? And they are fighters, they're boxers, but they're getting dicked out of money because they don't even understand how the business works themselves. Is it so hard to believe that? They don't understand how the business works. So they hire these people to take advantage of them. This shit happens all the time. Just because Crawford's one of the fighters don't fucking mean he knows everything. I can guarantee you, me, Mark, Julius, and a lot of these guys that dig into we know way more about what goes on behind the scenes than a lot of these boxers because they're not there. They just sitting there, they sign a paper, and they fucking fight in the ring. They don't know all the cooking shit. They hear about it, they hear the stories, but they're not heavily involved in the negotiations. So they can be deceived and fooled as well, man. Which is why when Crawford came out and said, man, Spence ain't ducking me. Because he found out shit that he didn't know. The whole time he thinking Spence did. Then he starts digging around and like, man, this fucking Bob Errol, man, that dude's not ducking me. Now they understand that the bag needs to be this big so that both of them can get the money they want. But between Bob Arum and Al Heyman, the bag is only this big. So it's not enough money in that bag for a 60-40 split to satisfy Terence Crawford. But if they increase that bag, a 60-40 split would satisfy the amount of money that Crawford wants, and Spence can have his extra money. But the bag's too goddamn small. So Bob Arum and Al Heyman need to extend that bag so both of these fighters can be satisfied and then the fight can be made. But fans are too fucking willing and anxious to point the finger at Spence or Crawford.
Hey, let me piggyback off of that with something I heard today. I don't know if you listen to the Boxing Voice, their channel, but I was checking them out earlier today, and they had Jamal Charlo's trainer on there, and they was talking. The Boo Boo Andre subject came up where Boo Boo Andre and Charlo had a fight, and then Boo Boo pulled out about 2 weeks before the fight, and Charlo's trainer was telling him that it was Jay-Z and a few other guys who made that happen. But if you watch the interview, it is the trainer in the suits that now don't want Boo Boo and Charlo to fight because they holding a grudge on Boo Boo. I don't want to call him Boo, on Andre. So it's not that Charlo don't want to fight Andre. It's because Andre pulled up and the suits are still mad at Andre, and that's why this fight is not happening. So
Bro,
these fighters, go ahead.
no, you're right though. But see, that's the thing. See, look. I was called, even though I don't like Charlo, I caught heat over this, bro. People came over here calling me a Charlo fanboy, PBC defender, and all this shit that I point a hypocrite because I was defending Charlo on this, Jamal Charlo on this, and like it's, oh, you double talking now, D? No, I'm not double talking. It is other reasons why Jamal Charlo would turn down $10 million. And if y'all don't want to accept that it's Al Heyman, then so be it. But that's when I was giving heat at Al Heyman. Like if guys like Smoke come in here, he would be debating this shit right now because you can't say anything wrong about Al Heyman. And then Smoke's going to come in here with his briefcase and his suit on, right? And I said this shit back then that Jamal really, yeah, he ducked the fight. If you avoid the fight, you ducked it. But he ducked it at the order of Al Heyman. Ben said this shit. So I ain't gonna argue with you because that's been my idea on it. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. Which is what I'm trying to tell you now about Crawford and Spence. Right? It's the same shit. So how can you be so willing to accept the fact, okay, it could have been Al that held up that fight with Jamal and Andre, but not be so willing to think that Al could have something to do with preventing this fight with Spence and Crawford?
Well, it wasn't Al who held the first fight up because the first fight they was signed, sealed, and delivered. But once Andre pulled out, Al, it has to be Al because
That's two different Carlos that game. What you're talking about is Jamel. The first fight was with Jamel. The second fight was Jamal. There's two different Charlos. He only been in negotiations with each one of them one time. He pulled out of the Jamel Charlo situation, which that wasn't actually because of Al. He pulled out of the Jamel Charlo situation because of the Rock Nation contract bullshit. They told him to turn it down and that they would be able to get him more money. So he pulled out of that fight, listening to the advice of Rock Nation, and they couldn't get him more money. So he ended up having to sue them. That's why he pulled out of that fight. That didn't even really have anything to do with our him. Even still, Jamel Charlo didn't pull out of that fight. It was Demetrius Andre. Now, with the Jamal Charlo situation, to me, that was Al. Because why the fuck else would Jamal Charlo turn down $7 to $10 million of a fight on a guy I'm pretty sure he's comfortable he can beat, and I'm comfortable he can beat. He can beat
because
Andre. So why turn down that much money to beat Demetrius Andre unless your advisor says I advised against it? Al Heyman.
now you see I missed that D because I thought it was Jamal both times. So you said it
No.
was Jamel the first time. So they holding a grudge. They so Al is holding a grudge on Jamal for something that
Or
happened
Andre.
with a whole nother box.
Andre. They're holding a grudge on Demetrius Andre because he fucked them out of the fight with Jamel Charlo because of the Rock Nation situation. It's business, man. And but then you could say, see, Ness and them, this is why the wordplay in this uh YTBC community starts these narratives, right? Now, we can sit up here and everybody that listens to this live are going to sit there and grudge. The word grudge is going to be stuck in their head. Grudge is nothing more than silly vindication or vindictiveness or revenge. That's all grudges are, right? But now let's turn it and open up another perspective. On the business side of it, if we did business with you, we tried to do a business deal with you, you fucked us on the deal, pulled out, and tried to get more money. You crawfished on us. Why should we do business with you again? Now you could call it a fucking grudge, but business wise, why should they do business with him again? See, this is where these narratives start. Because Ness and them talking about some fucking grudge, but as a businessman, is that a good business move to conduct business with someone who has screwed you over already? Is that good business?
All right. No, it's not. But let me ask you this
Is
though.
that good business?
So
Would that be good business practice to go back into business with someone that screwed you? Answer that question first. That's the
no,
question.
in this game, you have to work with boxers, bro.
No,
That happened to a
that's
totally
not
different
true. Have you
boxer.
ever owned a business, fam? Have you ever owned a business? We got to separate
Yes.
personal opinions from business. Business is business. Personal is personal. If you are in business and you engage in a contract with someone, they crawfish and breach that contract, back out the deal. It is not smart for any business person. Don't try to make it boxing game. It's not smart to conduct business with someone who has screwed you already. Same thing that's going on with Serrano and Eddie Hearn and them. She screwed them already. And people saying they should give Serrano a chance and give her this. No, she already screwed them on business. It's not a grudge. That person has been shown that they do bad business. So it's not smart for me as a businessman to try to conduct business with them because they've shown me the propensity to do bad business. Now people want to get their fucking feelings and emotions and personal thoughts behind this involved and just try not to come clean and say, yes, that was poor practice by Demetrius Andre, terrible decision. It was bad business. So maybe it's not a grudge. Maybe it's the fact that he screwed them and crawfished them on a business deal and they don't want to do business with him no more. How is that a grudge if he screwed the business deal up? See? But if we say grudge, then the public, not understanding all of these things that I'm breaking down right now, the public is going to say, they just on some petty shit holding a grudge. Come on, man. That's how narratives start. What do I tell you every time you come up here? My focus for this channel is to debunk bullshit narratives with the facts. And that's all I do, that game. That's all I do. I take pride in doing that every day. That's what I try to do.
Nah, bro, I got you. Can you hear me, D? I had to change
Yeah, I hear
Bluetooth.
you,
I'm
man.
like, no. I got you totally, D. So, what's your percentage of you think this fight's going to ever happen, or it's going to happen when in 3 years from now when Crawford's 36, 37?
Bro, if this fight, I gotta be honest with you, fam. If this fight doesn't happen next year, I'm actually really disinterested in it now until it's announced. Because like when we talk about these subjects, things like this tend to always happen. Because I'm talking about Crawford, it always eases back to the Spencer Crawford. It really has nothing to do with Spencer Crawford. It has to do with what's Crawford going to do next concerning Shawn Porter. And then talking about the Manny Pacquiao situation with Conor McGregor, the fact that he'll have to drop the belt and Ugas and all of that. That's what this live is really about. The problem is in this whole thing, and then even in the title, no Spence, no Pacquiao, then why not Shawn Porter? Everybody just gravitates back to Spence. That is a conversation that we've had 1,000 times, and we'll probably have it 1,000 times more. And when you get like the Wilder glove gate, I try to stay away from these things and these discussions because it's not really about that. But if you're asking me personally, I've really lost interest in the fight because I'm tired of this back and forth about it. I've literally lost interest in the fight. Do I want it? Yes, but I want it to be announced, and I'm setting up my live so that we're about to watch it, and then I'm excited, like, yep, we here, guys. No more waiting. I want that. But if I'm not getting that, I've lost interest in it, man. And if it doesn't happen next year, bro, say fuck the fight. Because it's one of those situations where, fans will say they aged him out. And can you argue with it? Right? That's what it'll be. Like he fight him when he's 36 or something. Fans will say, well, Spence and the PBC pulled the same shit that Floyd did, and they aged him out like Floyd aged Manny Pacquiao out, which is bullshit with the Manny Pacquiao situation. But still, that's what will be said, right? And I'm not going to sit there and do 1,000 lives defending that shit. And to a certain extent, it's harder to defend. I've always defended Floyd and the agent of Manny Pacquiao, but that would be hard to defend. It wouldn't be Spence that's doing it. It would be Al and the tricks and the PVC and the way that boxing is moving, but that would be the case. They would be aging the dude out, right? 36-year-old fucking Crawford. Like, come on, man. Let's get this fight. With Floyd, the reason I argued that down so much, because, man, he's fucking younger than him, bro. Not only is he younger than them, look at how much he's still competing. Now he's contemplating finally leaving. So how the fuck could Floyd age him out when he's younger than Floyd? He just beat a damn lion and a champion, right? And Keith Thurman, he beat one of the younger champions, right? He's still fucking competing actively, and Floyd's been retired, fighting tensions and McGregor's and shit. He's been retired, man. So if he so aged him out, the dude's older than him. Floyd is older than Manny. If he aged Manny out, how the fuck do you age a younger guy out who competes in the sport actively 4 or 5 years after you? It makes no sense with Floyd in the aging out. But with this Crawford Spence situation, it'd be hard to argue. It would be hard to argue.
Okay, D.
So,
Let me ask you this question, D. Okay, Manny Pacquiao. Before you answer, it's gonna be like a two-part question.
all right, go ahead.
How sure are you that if Manny Pacquiao do fight Conor, that it's just the fans hoping they'll take that belt? Will Manny still keep that belt? And then my second question is, who would get a chance at that belt if Manny do drop that belt? I mean,
All right.
are we sure they're gonna even take that belt from Manny?
Okay. High probability. First part of your question. There's an extremely high probability of them taking that belt from Manny if he pursues the Conor McGregor fight because they've said it months ago. They said, should Manny pursue the MMA fight, he will be stripped of the title. They've already said this months ago. And guess what? It's months later and he still ain't fucking fought yet. So what is he doing to the WBA? This is what fans have to consider. Why would they strip him? Because by him holding that title, not fighting anyone, guess what they can't do off of that belt? Elect sanctioning fees. Manny ain't making them no fucking money. And going to fight a Conor McGregor, being that the belt's not going to be on the line, they can't sanction that fight either. So Manny is just holding their belt up when you got undisputed matches, which could be big money, and they're not getting a piece of their pie. This is why they said a while ago that if he pursues this fight with Conor McGregor, which is also seeming really valid because Manny Pacquiao signed with the management company, MMA management company that McGregor's with. Everything's lining up. He's already signed a contract with them. And this, once he signed that contract with them, is when the WBA put out the report saying what they said. Okay, well, he doesn't sign a contract with them. If he takes that fight, we're stripping him. That's the first part of the question. I believe it's a high probability of them stripping him should he take that fight with Conor McGregor, which I think he will because Crawford, Spence, or Mikey ain't paying him the money he gonna make if he fights Conor, right? So that's the first part of your question. The second part of that question is your Dennis Ugas will most likely be elevated to super champion because he holds the regular belt now. Then the question will be who fights Ugas? That would be the question. But to fight for the belt, I could just imagine they elevate Dennis Ugas and have someone fight him, which hopefully would be Spence or Crawford. But if they weren't to elevate him, I'm pretty sure he would be in the mix of you guys fighting somebody for that title.
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay.
How you doing? How you doing, Dave and D?
All good, brother.
Good,
All
bro.
good.
Yeah. The thing I got with Manny is I'm a little bit drunk right now. the thing I got with Manny, and I think Manny deserves to go out the way he wants to go out.
Yeah.
You know, he has nothing to prove to nobody. He's had a stellar career, Hall of Famer career. If he wants to go fight Conor McGregor, and that's what he wants to do, let him go get it, because I got to get his money.
Yeah.
He's nothing to prove what his career, like, you know.
I think it's a better way for him to go out, to tell you the truth, Brian, because look, if he goes out of boxing this way, vacates the belt, go get a ton of money from Conor, he left boxing a winner. He left boxing a winner. You can't even complain about. That's the best way. That's great for him to go out that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, like with the stripping the title, you're right. He is holding up the title. So if he does take the corner fight, it does have to be taken off him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nothing to do with Manny. It's just boxing has to move on.
It's the business. It's boxing. They got to make their money, man. These
Yeah,
sanctioning bodies are around because they collect sanctioning fees. These champions
yeah,
are wearing their strap and they get into a fight, they get a percentage.
yeah,
Every champion. So if you got a champion that's sitting there with 2 years and ain't trying to fight nobody, they holding up your money. This is about
yeah.
making money.
Okay, the way I think of it, D, which is an easier fight to make? Manny Pacquiao, or Earl Spence Jr., or Manny Pacquiao, Terence Crawford, or Terence Crawford versus Ugas, or Errol Spence Jr. versus Ugas. To me, Ugas is the easier fight to make to go take a title.
Hey,
You know,
yeah, I mean, Ugas
like,
is Ugas for Spence or Crawford are easier fights to make, in my opinion,
yeah,
because of the stock. This is what,
yeah.
man. He did.
Not the name recognition, but yeah, not the name recognition,
No,
but
no,
easier
no,
fights. Not
not
the
the
name
name.
recognition, but easier fights to make.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's not the name recognition, it's the stock. Like you said, it's
yeah,
not like the name. See, Ugas he has a belt, right? But
yeah,
he doesn't sell anything. So they don't Bob Arum or Al Heyman. If it's Crawford that gets to fight, Bob Arum. If it's Spence that gets to fight, Al Heyman. They don't face the same problem that they face trying to get a Pacquiao fight or trying to get a fight with Crawford and Spence. The problem that they face now with trying to make a Pacquiao fight happen or trying to make a Crawford versus Spence fight happen is that they have no live date. That's the first one. They have
yeah,
no or limited live date. So that's the first problem. The second problem is the pay-per-views. Like now, even these two together, right? Dancing partners will create will generate more of a pay-per-view. But how much becomes the question. And that bag,
yeah,
that purse that they have to split right now, or at least what Al and Bob are willing to put in that purse is not big enough. Right. So
yeah.
with Manny Pacquiao, same situation. No live date. Manny Pacquiao is going to require guapola. Going to have to pay him, right? So
Oh
now
yeah, yeah,
it's the same problem of can we sell this fight? But then it's Ugas. You don't got to pay him a lot of money. That motherfucker's going to be happy with 2-3 million. He made that kind of money. So now you're talking about a guy that holds a belt, a champion that you only have to pay 2-3 million to versus a $20 million Manny Pacquiao. Bro, fuck that. Like that's why it ain't happening, and it'll be so much easier for any of them to make a fight with you guys. Much easier.
yeah. Absolutely right. So I've no problem with Manny taking the Conor McGregor fight, even if he drops his belt. He drops his belt. So I have no problem with that because to me, Manny Pacquiao is nothing to prove. So whichever way he wants to go out, leave boxing. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Let me
just
let me
on
say
him
my
going in his career.
no, let me
So
say my opinion on that. Let me say my opinion on that. I see. I have a problem with that. You're a champion. You just beat one of the young lions, like we just mentioned, and you're holding on to the belts. Um, you have an opportunity to go out as possibly one of the greatest boxers ever if you can become undisputed, and it's one or two fights away. I think that Conor McGregor stuff can be handled after undisputed. Right now, I think Manny Pacquiao should focus on going undisputed because it's one or two fights away. If these young guys don't want to fight, then you just go through both of them. Um, and that's what I would do. For legacy and for everything, you could fight Conor McGregor anytime you want. But for right now, I would go undisputed.
Okay.
Manny,
Well, hold on,
Manny,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Because I
sorry,
know
sorry.
everybody want to dig at that. Brian, you can go next. Boxing Monk of Gods, what's up? I'll let you respond to that too. I got to jump on that one first. That game, you're out of your goddamn mind, fam. And I'm going to tell you why I got to say that. First and foremost, you're talking legacy wise. Well, let me explain something to you about legacy wise. Right now, that game, as we speak, while he's holding on to the belt and holding up the fucking division. Right now, big game. Right now, Manny Pacquiao is a shoo-in number one, for the Hall of Fame right now, shoe-in. He will go in first ballot. Number two, he is an active ATG. If you don't understand the analogy, all-time great. Actively. Right now. That dude don't have to do a goddamn thing, fam. And to
And
even
can I say
require him,
one
hold on,
thing?
Brian. I know
Sorry.
you want to get in, but I got to get all this off. To even require Manny Pacquiao to take on Errol Spence and Crawford is absolutely 100% ridiculous. If anything, those two idiots, that's right, I'm calling my dude Spence an idiot, and Terence Crawford together. If anything, dead game, those two idiots should fight each other and let Manny get into one fight for 4-belt undisputed. We do not ask an active ATG shoe-in for the Hall of Fame guy right now to go through that fire. No,
Yeah.
no, that's a ridiculous request. That's a ridiculous request because just like I said that game, he could drop his belt right now. He would have retired from this sport a winner, a champion, and he is already an ATG and a Hall of Famer. That motherfucker don't have to run through no damn Crawford and Spence. Fuck that, bro. And you saying that he's a champion, this is why you relinquish the belt. Because as a champion, I agree with you. You're required to fight the other champions and relinquish the belt. And relinquishing the belt is perfectly fine for an active ATG fan. We don't require an active all-time great. Do you know what it even takes to be called an all-time great? You know how many fucking boxes we had? And to just be called an all-time great, that is the pinnacle right there, fam. It's one thing to reach the Hall of Fame. A lot of boxers would love to reach the Hall of Fame. That's a pinnacle. But to reach the Hall of Fame and be called an all-time great, man, he's already there, fam. And to require this man to run through a Crawford and Spence, that is preposterous, fam. That's my opinion on that. Brian, your turn.
Okay. Yeah. And also, we talk about Canelo's resume. To me, Manny Pacquiao has the best resume of any active boxer in boxing today. Any active boxer today, Manny Pacquiao has the best resume.
Real quick, Brian. Christmas
That's
present.
all I wanted to say.
Okay, good. Christmas present. Cat love you, sis. Appreciate you on that. Merry Christmas, D in chat. Wishing everybody health and fortune in these troubling times. You guys will be fed to Spence. Yeah, I can see that, Cat. If that WBA strap is on the line, give us Crawford Porter, then undisputed Spence. Hey, Cat, really appreciate you on the contribution, but even more so on that comment because we agree on that. And I thought that's why I said I wish that Crawford would get Pacquiao because if that belt gets vacated, God, that's gonna Allen them. Bob cheap ass ain't gonna pay the money to finagle Crawford into that fight. He doesn't even want to do anything for Crawford. But Allen them definitely will pay the money to finagle Spence into that fight. So I agree with Cat 100% here. Ugas will be elevated. They'll finagle Spence into that fight with Ugas. Now Crawford's really screwed over because it's definitely 70-30 there. All the Crawford fans can shut the fuck up, bro. Because if Spence gets a hold of 3 damn belts, right? Come on, man. Fighting yet another champion. Crawford he's done. It's definitely 7-30 there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree.
So again, Cat, appreciate you on that. So boxing months of gods, before we get off of what Dead Games comment, if you wanted to respond to that. Manny Pacquiao having to fight Spence and Crawford. What do you think, boxing month?
No, he responded.
Hello. First of all, everyone, and Merry Christmas to chat and the panel.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Should draw out, leave it to the young guys. Can you hear me? I should.
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
No, you're good.
Leave it to the young guys. Okay.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Repeat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
hear
put
me?
the link back in the chat. I can hear you. Look, I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. Just go out and come back in. Go out and come back in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay, D. D, look, okay, this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about right here. Greatness. We're talking about greatness. Manny Pacquiao, like you said, is an all-time great. I agree totally. But what I'm talking about is something a little bit different. You see, you have Bud Crawford and you have Earl the Truth Spence, two young bucks that does not want to get in the ring with each other for whatever reason. Okay, you have an old man in Manny Pacquiao that'll come and be both of them, and instead of being an all-time great, you would then be considered greatest of all time.
No, he won't.
That's the difference.
No,
You
he
have the
won't.
great. You could be. He would be in the talks. He would be in the talks of the greatest of all times
No, he would not. No, he
instead
would
of being
not.
an all time great.
Okay, nigga, look, let me tell you something, fam. I do believe at this age, Manny beating Spencer and Crawford would shoot him up. Like right now, I think people have him in the top 30, top 25. Okay. But fair enough. Fair enough. But their game, trust and believe, bro. I'm around too many historians. There are too many boxers, even with tagging on four belt undisputed at this age for Manny Pacquiao. There are still boxers out there that have done greater. Whether you can believe that or not, there are actually still boxers out there in the history of the sport that have done greater, man. Now he would be thrusted up. I could see as high as the top 10. Brian, would you agree with that? Maybe as high as the top 10, right? But there's still going to be guys. Look,
Yeah,
okay,
I would agree with that.
right.
Didn't
Even
realize.
with your assessment, day game, you have to understand that there are boxing greats right now that are in the argument as number one that has three times the fight of Manny Pacquiao. Three times, fam, the fights of Manny Pacquiao. They've beaten five, eight more Hall of Famers. They've attracted more. Sam Langford went from light heavyweight to heavyweight. I mean, from lightweight to heavyweight. And we talking about Manny Pacquiao's 8 divisions again. That game, Sam Langford went from lightweight to fucking heavyweight and won that game. So there are guys that are at that level that even if Manny did that, he's not going to eclipse them. I can guarantee you that. Number one. Number two is he's too old that game. I know that that would be great, but what is the reality that he beats both of these guys? It's a slim chance, fam.
I
You
think
ask
it's
It
me
ain't no it ain't no
that
reality.
he who is that? Who is that? It might be
It's
an echo.
Jamal.
Yeah, hold on, Jamal. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna let you get in, fam. But you're asking Manny Pacquiao that game to do something. It's highly improbable. Like, why would we push him to that? You're talking about a guy, say D. We talk about greatness. He's already great, fam. He's already mentioned in the top 25. I can promise you that 30 top 25 somewhere around it. He's already mentioned there. Do you know what that means? You know how many boxers it was over the 100+ years that boxed in this sport to be considered in the top 30, top 25? Why would he risk his life, literally, his health? He's getting ready to try to run for president, dude. You want him to risk his faculties? Because that's what he would be doing, going into a fight with Spence and then turn around going in. He would be risking his faculties. Like, bro, that's completely outlandish, fam. We cannot like that is something that I would not even entertain Manny Pacquiao doing. And not only that, it would be 100% disgraceful for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence to not fight each other and have to put Manny Pacquiao through that. F
yeah.
Bud, F Spence if that was ever to happen. I can promise you that, nigga. I wouldn't be a fan of Spence no more, and I would have no respect for Bud if that's the path that Manny would have to take. I'm telling you that right now. It would be nothing to me. You mean to tell me that a 40+ year old man has to come and fight you two idiots and go through you guys? They would lose all respect. Do you understand that? They would lose all respect. But that the probability of that happening is so low. Like, why would we put that on Manny's shoulders? It would be better for him to just fight McGregor, vacate the belt, and leave boxing as a champion.
The probability is not low, and it's only two fights, brother.
All right. Again,
The
look,
and the probability is not low because both of the two fights we're talking about, the two fighters are calling him out. The
let me tell you
probability
why
is
the
not low.
probability is
We're
low.
talking about it's a hard feat. It's going to be a hard feat.
Come
It's
on.
going to be a hard. Go ahead.
It's just I want to talk sensible on here, fam. I'm gonna tell you why it's a low probability. All the way around the board, that game. Manny fighting Spence and Crawford to get both of these belts. I'm gonna give you two scenarios why it's a very low probability. Here's the first scenario. He does it back to back. He fights Spence, which we know is going to be a tumultuous fight, and right after that, he fights Crawford, which we know is going to be a tumultuous fight. But keep it out. He just fought Thurman, which was a tumultuous fight. So, young lion champion, young lion champion, young lion champion, back to back to back. Right? Now, probability, come on. Very low, because Keith Thurman was the lower of Errol Spence. Errol Spence is probably the best guy. That's what makes it a low possibility, a probability that a guy that old goes through all three of these champions and win every fight. That's number one. Number two, second scenario. If he was to fight Spence and then not go right back to back, now we're talking about his age because these guys only fighting twice a year. So now you're talking about a year and a half removed before he has the last fight. Now he's even fucking older.
Back to back, bro.
Okay, so back to back makes it even worse because he fights three guys. Thurman, Spence, Crawford, back to back. And you trying to convince any of us that this is reasonable?
No. He should get out the game. If you don't want him to
let
do
me,
that,
okay, let me let,
get out the game.
Can I add one thing?
Hold on, all right. Let me let Boxing Monks. Hold on, guys. Let me let Jamal, I want to let Jamal and Boxing Monk get in this. Hold on, Jamal. Let Boxing Monk go, and then you take the floor, Jamal. Boxing Monk, what you got to say about this scenario?
Hey, I agree with you. I think that Manny Pacquiao should leave boxing. He did everything what he could do. He proved everyone that he's the one of the greatest of his era. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Of course, he's the greater one. He's the best one of his era. He's the second one, and he should leave the belt and fight Conor McGregor. To the young guns like Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. I agree with you. He proved he made in boxing everything what every young boxer is dreaming. He's the icon of Philippines and the icon of the world. That's all. That's all what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
No, well
I
said.
agree with you.
Well said. Jamal, what's up, Jamal? Right? What you think about this, fam? You're on mute, Jamal. All right. Well, Jamal's
okay. My bad.
There you go. Go ahead, fam. You got it.
Now, so I'm asking you. You say you don't want Manning to fight Spence and Crawford.
No. I don't want him to have to go through both of them, Jamal. Like fight Spence and then fight Crawford. Why should Manny have to do that?
Well, as first of all, he ain't gonna do that anyway, cause he fight either one of them, it's gonna be retired. It's over with. So he ain't even gonna get a chance to even fight both of them back to back like that. No way, cause either one he gonna get dominant and get retired. So that's the scenario out of the question. Anyway, from the rip, cause he definitely fight Spence. He gonna get slaughtered. He fight Terence Crawford. He definitely gonna get slaughtered. Cause you know that Crawford and Manny, that shit been built up so long. Crawford man, so you already when he get in there with him, he try to dominate him. So I don't see him fight both of them at the back like that. No way, definitely not.
No, I agree.
To fight either one of them, he might well go and get a bet up, man. Point blank.
Facts. Facts. No, we agree. We agree, Jamal.
Point
Like,
blank and period, man.
go
Cause
ahead,
man, I'm
go
texting,
fight
man.
for more money. Yeah, yeah. No. You actually,
Yeah,
we agree on
he
that.
just pulling their coattail. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He pulling everybody coattail. He ain't finna fight neither one of them. So he probably done try to get a money fight and just go on vacate and there's somebody like for
He's
them
ready to
belts,
fight
man.
Jamal. Jamal. He's ready to fight Conor McGregor, which is more money than Spence or Crawford. He get ready to fight Conor, and they're going to strip him anyway. So I think that's a good
Well,
move.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool then.
Yep. Yep.
That's
I
cool.
agree.
So
I agree.
who in line who in that WBA who in that line of WBA anyway if he vacate
You're Dennis Ugas. He's the WBA.
That's,
who
yeah.
be
If you're Dennis Ugas, he's the WBA regular.
that?
So probably elevate him and have him fight Spence. That's what
It
that
ain't gonna be no
Spence gonna beat you guys, man. He beat the hell out of you guys. I ain't trying
Uh,
to hit with you guys bullshit. Abel Ramos almost stopped you guys at the end of their fight. And that was Abel Ramos. Spence beats you guys, Crawford beats
hell
you
yeah.
guys. So either one of them that gets a hold of you guys gets that damn belt. But like I said, I left Cat comment up here because that's how I see it too, man. I see it. They'll feed you guys to Spence because Allen and them gonna put up the money to get Spence that third belt, and then it's big trouble for Crawford after that point. It's big trouble because you don't want to take 60-40 or 50-50. Man, once Spence get that damn third belt, it's definitely 30-30,
yeah,
70-30. It's
yeah,
definitely no fucking questions asked. 70-30, fam.
It
yeah.
ain't
Can
even
I
no,
put
it
it?
ain't even the be honest. Hold on, let me say that it ain't even nowhere around that shit right now. Cause it's a Crawford ego, his pride so fuck on in the game right now. He definitely want to take 30. He definitely ain't gonna take that. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
that now. And Spence,
Go ahead, bro.
Spence just Spence just flexing his muscle on him right now. Just letting him know I'm the big dog. So Spence just teasing him, man, playing with him. That's all it is.
Yeah.
See if he gonna take that. See if he gonna take it. He to be honest, Spence already said 40%. Like if you know you could beat Spence, you want to fight so bad. Why not take 40%? Say fuck it, let's do it. Give me 40%. So what's the problem?
Yeah. Go ahead,
Well, they
Brian.
could, yeah, well, maybe they could do a deal 40%, 40% if you lose, 50% if you win. Maybe they could do like a 50-50 split if thing wins, but Crawford wins.
If
That
Bud
might
wins
be
what, Brian?
that might be an incentive.
If Bud wins what?
No, if Bud wins the fight with Earl Spence Jr., maybe they could do like 60-40. But if you win, it's 50-50.
Yeah, but why? See,
You
this
know.
is the thing. Like, as of right now, I get that, Brian, because Big Game alluded to this a while ago when we was having this discussion.
Yeah, yeah,
That whole scenario, as of right now, let's not put you guys in the picture, but that whole scenario now of Spence making it a 40-40 and then the winner takes 20. Why would
yeah,
Spence give up that? He's the one with the leverage. That would only be beneficial for Crawford. When you have the A side, they're not going to give up the leverage. If this would satisfy all the fans. Oh, they should just do this. But then where does Spence benefit this? Like these guys
yeah.
accomplish in sports so that they can have the leverage, they can have the benefit. If this is the case, if we just do 40-40, winner takes 20, how does that benefit Spence? It's like you guys just want to take all the Spencer's benefits away, which he definitely has the leverage in this. You can't
I
ask the
don't think
guy
leverage.
in a negotiation to give up all of his leverage. We can't do that. That's
Yeah,
basically what we would be doing if
Why
we
Crawford
say
fans not
40-40,
seeing that
winner
shit, man?
takes 20. Right. I mean, why would Spence give up his leverage? Like, to me, that makes no sense what people are asking for this
yeah,
20-20-40-40.
Man.
With you guys now,
But you
hold on, Jamal. If Crawford was to somehow go in there and get this belt off of you guys, right? Aaron set it up so he could get it. Then I would say, okay, let's entertain something like that because Crawford has 2 belts, Spence has 2 belts. I know that the stock is a little more on Spence's side. Well, probably significantly more on Spence's side, but we need this fight, and that fight would do huge for either of these guys, right? So now we could probably entertain a 40-40 winner take 20, right? Maybe. Maybe
Yeah,
then.
no, I agree. I agree with that. No, it was just something I was just thinking about,
Yeah,
maybe just to get the deal over the table, give an incentive to Bud Crawford. Well, if you want your money, come take it.
right.
Come beat me.
Yeah.
If he wants, if he wants,
That's too much
yeah,
bravado, macho, and manhood. That doesn't fit into the PBC's model. They don't care
yeah,
about being bravado and macho. They
yeah,
care about their leverage and making the most money, and that's evident. Which
yeah,
I think that should be any fighter that gets themselves into a better position. Spence is in a better position than Crawford, so why shouldn't he make more money? To ask him to make it an even deal, that's taken away from Spence.
yeah,
Crawford didn't do what he needed to do to make it an even deal. So we can't just ask Spence to give up all of his extra. Like that's
yeah,
crazy. That's crazy to
yeah.
me.
Well, I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
Ugas is
But
the
why? You know
lineup
what I'm
to even
saying?
go. Sorry.
Everybody. No, I'm saying like why in history of boxing, all the A side. This has been going on in boxing forever. A side ain't no. It's just the one to get to. Oh, it worked like that. Mayweather never did it. Pacquiao never did. Canelo don't do it. Ray Leonard never did that. Like why ever?
Why you going in and out, man?
Yeah, I thought it was just. I thought France Net was happening.
Yeah, but I mean, you make a good point. Oscar didn't do it with Mayweather. Mayweather had to take B side when he went up to Oscar, and that's
Yeah,
the boy fucking Mayweather. He had to accept the shit Oscar was handing down to him. Now all of
yeah,
a sudden, people want Spence to bend over. Like, come on with that, man. Like, you got to call this stuff evenly, and it's just the business of it. If Crawford was in line with the business side of it, I would be like, "Come on, Spence, this is just stupid. Take the fight." But he's not in line with the business side of it, and not only is he not in line with the business side of it, he's being stubborn, fam. I won't take a pay cut. I want 60-40. I ain't worried about fighting Shawn Porter, whether I get Manny Pacquiao or Spence. Well, then what the fuck you gonna do, Crawford? Because your belt's at 140 and your pound for pound status ain't cutting it, fam. Because that's all Crawford keep yelling about. I'm the pound for pound guy. I went 4 belt undisputed at 140. Well, Crawford, you're at 147 now. And pound for pound don't put stock in you. It's
yeah.
not that stock in you. So what
Here,
are
do
you
you
gonna,
think? Sorry,
yeah,
put your phone.
my thing was just what are you gonna do? If you're not getting Spence, neither of you guys are probably gonna get Pacquiao. Why not Porter? This is what I'm saying. I'm not forcing this on Crawford. I'm not trying to push it on Crawford. But if the ultimate goal is a Spence and Crawford fight, why not Shawn Porter? What else? The only thing you could probably entertain would be uh the fight with Vugas should that belt get dropped. But then again, just like like Catacor said, they'll probably feed him to Spence.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
won't get that fight either. So, dude, you should be in negotiations with Shawn Porter for your fucking mandatory. Here's another thing. And you'll also be satisfied on mandatory because Porter's your mandatory, right? So you should be in negotiations with this fight right now because who else do you have better in front of you?
yeah. No, I agree. Right. I think at this moment Manny Pacquiao beats Ugas. So never mind either Errol Spence Jr. or Bud Crawford.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's just how I see it. So so whoever takes Ugas fight's got an easier fight than they would fight Manny. But do you think it might be an idea that Manny's dropped Conor McGregor's name as maybe he could drive the price up on a fight? You know,
Uh
either
I
one.
I mean, that could be a tactic, but does Manny have to do that? He's already
No,
known to
yeah,
cash
I know
out. He
that.
don't got to grab the price up. They know they the fucking B side the man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They already
yeah,
know he the cash man. That's why they want him. So I don't think he
yeah,
has to resort to tactics to drive the price up on himself because he's
yeah,
already the pricey
yeah.
guy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but getting Uncle Bob just to either get Uncle Bob or Al to put more money in, put their hands in
Well,
their pocket a little bit more,
they got to pay for Manny. They already both know they got to pay for Manny. Floyd
Yeah.
already screwed him out of the fight with himself, right? With that debacle, with him even signing with the PBC, and Bob Arum already knows what he have to pay Manny, which is why he ain't so interested in making a fight with Manny. That's why I keep telling the Crawford fans, y'all crying, even Crawford crying about Manny Pacquiao. Why are you trying to pay that money, dude?
Yeah. Oh, just something, Kevin. I saw the interview. I saw the interview today.
Oh,
You
real
know.
quick, Brian, real
Yeah.
quick, man.
Sorry.
G Man, my man G Man, boxing with the Christmas gift. I appreciate you, G Man. Say happy Christmas, D. Hey, happy holidays and Christmas to you, G Man. I hope you enjoy the holidays with your family and everything, fam. I really appreciate you. Hey, everybody, check out my guy, G Man Boxing. I voted him. G Man, I voted you in your bracket twice on Mark's channel. The bracket you was in, you actually beat the guys. I was honest about it. You was my favorite channel in the bracket you was in. I wouldn't even vote for myself. Beats and Rhymes was in my bracket in the second round. And
Yeah.
bro, I voted for Beats.
I,
I
I
know
did.
it's
I did. I did
I
vote
voted
for you,
for Beats
D.
and
But
Rhymes.
I did vote for you, but it was very close between you and Beach. I had to go back and forth on it a couple of times.
Yeah,
You know.
I appreciate it, though. I appreciate that, Brian. And that's a
Yeah.
huge honor that I got a vote over Beats and Rhymes. Actually, I got a few votes, so I appreciate all of you guys. But I vote for Beats over Get My Sports Talk because that dude he's got an awesome channel. I love Beats and Rhymes, but appreciate
Yeah.
you, man.
Great channel.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. No. I I saw the interview today, and it was just something popped in my head. You know,
Wow.
maybe just drive. You know, maybe just get either Al Heyman or Bob Arum just to put a little bit of extra in the pot. You
Right.
know, if you drop Conor McGregor's name in there, right? You know that's a revenue sell, right? For these guys to compete, they will have to put they will have to put more money into the pot. You know,
Yeah.
so I was just something that popped into my head at the time. You know, but I don't really think it's real. It's just something I was just thinking. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. I mean, again, that is something that could be used as a tactic. Manny don't need that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Manny
I
don't
don't, I
need
don't
the
say it.
football
I'm just
games
saying.
and none of
Yeah,
that shit. You know what I mean? He's just a
that's
bet.
just something I just thought about. That's something I would do
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
myself. You
not
know.
like I think that like that would be more effective for say a Crawford, right?
Yeah.
Like Crawford say, all right, man, and then like he wouldn't get straight. Man, I'm gonna just go fight some UFC fighter,
Yeah.
right? Now he putting leverage on Spence, and then that's something that he could use, right? Because he needs to boost. But Manny could look at both of them like, fuck you. I'm the man. You go
He
do
could
something
do
with
that.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? Man?
He could do that. Yeah.
You, man. I'm the man. I know y'all the young lions, but I'm the man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, I just thought about while I was listening to the interview. So I'll just
I mean,
sometimes weird
yeah.
shit pop into my head.
He said, I think Terence Crawford will be the favorite in the fight by a small margin, but I think Crawford's victory will be 7-5 type fight. I think Porter's style is difficult for Bud. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. And, this would be a great test for him, a great fight, definitely add stock and value to him. Common opponent. And I believe that he beats Spence more. I mean, Crawford. Look, I believe that Terence Crawford beats Porter more efficiently than Spence, whether he stops him or not. Right? I believe that Terence Crawford makes it. Spence and Porter fight was like this. I believe at the end, the results,
Yeah.
Crawford and Porter fight would be like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that he will have a more impressive fight against Terence Crawford. And it could end up just like IBT is saying here, a 7-5 fight. But a 7-5 fight with Crawford, it would be no question. People would be like, yeah, Crawford beat him. Whereas that 7-5 fight with Spencer, you have people saying that Porter won.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's how it would be. So I agree with IBT, and I think that people are underestimating and then overvaluing what Crawford brings to the table into this fight with Porter. And Porter will be more difficulty for him than people are giving him credit for. Although ultimately, I would say that I would Crawford to win that fight.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it 7-5 or 8-4 to Crawford. And that,
Ah,
yeah.
that's what's up, my bro. G man, my bad, Brian. I voted for you too, brother. One of my favorite channels, man. G
Here,
man,
I
boxing.
was even gonna vote. I didn't even vote for myself. Here, yeah.
Merry Christmas, BJ.
Here, I'm gonna say now, Mark. I didn't win the voter fraud. Just joking. Just joking.
Brody Breeze, what's good with you, fam?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
real low. We can hear you, but you kind of low.
I'm doing good, man. I'm cool and just at work. I'm trying to see if my connection is gonna fix because I'm close to the elevator. So bear with me
Oh,
real quick. But I want to chime in a little bit on that Terence Crawford, you know, and Porter. Like I feel like Porter is going to expose some things of Terence Crawford. I'm not saying he's going to beat him. I'm just saying he's going to expose some difficulties that could possibly give him a little problem in the future with his upcoming opponent.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
No, I,
saying?
I I agree. Porter, listen, Porter it's a difficult fight for anybody he fights because of his style. And I was saying this, Jody, before I agree with you. I was saying this earlier before you jumped on that Jeff Horn is not the boxer Porter is. Porter's a better boxer than Jeff Horn, you know. But Jeff Horn was able to just rush in there, put this pressure on Crawford, and he got some very good shots in on Crawford. Porter's going to be doing that all
Yeah,
night. No matter how much Crawford hits him, he's going to be doing that type of thing all night, right? And Crawford,
yeah,
Porter's
yeah,
the
yeah.
kind of guy you have to stop. You have to stop him. You have no
Yeah, yeah.
choice. You
See,
got to
yeah,
stop
Porter,
Porter.
he's gonna keep, like how you just said, he's gonna keep bringing the pace. Crawford likes to fight at his pace, but if someone's all in his face, putting hands off, paws, and Porter, I'm gonna be 100. He's not the cleanest fighter. He's a doghouse fight. You're
Mhm.
gonna catch a forearm, elbow. He's gonna be in your mug. You trying to back him up. The footwork ain't there. Then hey, you putting yourself in a hole because he's not fundamental wound to the point where you're fighting a standard boxer. You're fighting somebody who's scrappy, wants to make you feel like you were in the ring with two people just because he won't get away. He's like that fly that keeps buzzing at you. You can knock him out when you catch him, but it's just the fact that he's not gonna let you knock him out on your turn. And I don't
Right.
think Crawford he's not ready. He's ready for that, but it's just in his career it's gonna do a little bit to his bag compared to when he fights guys like Errol Spence. Like it's gonna really change the future for Crawford. I'm gonna just say it like that. His future, you
Crawford,
know.
Terence Crawford has literally fought nobody in his entire career like Porter. Because
Yeah,
let's understand something. He comes up from smaller weights, okay? But prior to 147, and this is what people don't understand. Call whoever you want his best fight at 147, whether it's Horn that beat Pacquiao, or whether you guys want to lean on Caviar Velasquez because he dropped him, or whether you want to say it's an old broken down Brook. I don't even care. Whichever one of them you pick as his best win at 147. Let's put 147 on the show and look at who his best win was prior to that. Fucking Victor Posto. That was his very best win. There's nothing else,
mm-hmm.
bro. And Boa and Donga. There's nothing else. Hank Lundy. There's nothing else. These are the best
Yeah,
wins.
he's
Victor
really,
fucking Posto. So when
yeah,
you look at that, when you look at that, and then you look at Shawn Porter. He offers Crawford more difficulty than damn near everybody he's fought, in my opinion, besides Victor Posto. And the reason I say besides Victor Posto, because they offer Crawford difficulties at different levels. Victor Posto, from the aspect of a sweet science, he's a good boxer, Victor Posto. So he offered
yeah,
Crawford
yeah,
at that level. But as far as physicality, strip, like my man IVT says, his Porter's physicality and boxing ability certainly give Crawford a lot of issues. I don't think Porter can be stopped by Crawford. Porter is stronger. He's is the stronger guy and the bullish style. Exactly. Good inside. So that's the thing, that
Yeah,
bullish
yeah,
style, that pressure. Yes, Crawford can fight off the back foot, but he's shown us the propensity to have pressure. I mean, problems with guys that pressure him like Porter's going to pressure him. He's not faced anybody with this size, this stature, this strength. Crawford's generally uh Crawford's generally been the stronger guy. Even when
yeah.
you remember when Kell Brook came in there. Kell Brook is coming from 154 and they met in the
That's
middle of the ring and Crawford just kind of tossed him. He's
uh-huh.
comfortable.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
comfortable.
He just slung them around
Yeah, he just
like a
slung
toy.
him.
Yeah.
He just slung him. So he's been comfortable with being the rangier, the longer, the stronger guy. He ain't that guy in this fight with Porter. Porter's definitely
Yeah.
typically stronger than him. Right?
That's
So
why
yeah.
I was gonna say that's why I'm gonna compare this fight to Shane Mosley versus Mayweather. Mayweather won that fight, but he had to fight. Compared to all the other Mayweather fights, Mosley wasn't going nowhere.
Right, right. Lydia says, I don't care who gets it. I just want this. Yeah, I swear, Lydia. I'm with you, sis. For real, for real. I think Bud stops Porter straight punching and clinching wins. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know about
Bud's
that,
gonna
man.
stop
I don't
him. That's a definite. That for me, I feel Bud's going to win this 100%. I have no doubt. I have
I think
zero
Bud
percent
wins
that
100%.
Porter is not going to win this.
No, no. I think like no, I'm not saying 100 because I think
I'm
Bud
gonna
wins
say,
the fight, right? I'm comfortable that
mhm.
Bud wins this fight. But when people start talking that stopping business, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure
Oh,
that Bud
stopping. I'm
stops.
not saying that. I'm never gonna say because Porter
Yeah,
is a dog. You know,
right.
you're gonna have to. If you think of a couple body blows, and I don't see Terence Crawford picking up the pace to get the knockout if he has to go in that fashion. For Crawford knockouts come when it's a guy who has no fight in him. Porter has fight in him. So he's gonna have to dig deep. I'm not saying it's impossible to knock out Porter, but you're gonna have to dig in that bag for
Yeah.
his chin. You're gonna have to dig in that bag and do some things you haven't done before. You're gonna have to get him some hesitant, some fakes, some footwork, work the body, work the top. Take a couple of breaks because if you try to go in there for the first 5 rounds thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be an easy fight, I'm gonna knock him out," no, that ain't gonna work. But he will win by cards for sure.
Yeah.
If it goes
Yeah.
the way distance, I got him by cards.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, Brian.
Here, no, I agree with that. Right. The one thing I see it more like Maidana versus Floyd Mayweather. That type of Sean Porter's Maidana. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that relentlessness, that toughness. That just that guy who just put that pressure on you all night long, and he ain't going nowhere. That's how I see the fight. I do see it going to the cards. I don't think Bud does stop. I don't think Bud stops him. I do see it going to the cards, and it's just how would Bud deal with that
yeah.
in your fashion style. That just relentless style that Sean Porter will put on him.
Yeah, I don't
So
know
and,
how.
and Sean Porter is also we've seen Sean Porter box too. He's also a good boxer. He's a guy who can mix it up a bit. He can also do that there. So yeah, Sean Porter is what we would call like flexible. He's a master. He's a master of all trades. But what do you call it? He's good
Jack
at
of
all.
all trades, master of
Jack
none.
of all, master of none. Like he's good at everything.
He's a
You
good
know,
ass sparring partner,
yeah,
basically. You say he's a
yeah,
good ass man to have in your training camp to get you ready for a fight because he's gonna show you all different styles.
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
That's
funny that
exactly who
more
Sean
pop
Porter is.
Ronald said Terence has more pop than Floyd. Listen, yeah, he does, but uh, Sean Porter got that Canelo style chin. Well, how about that?
Where's his combinations? Terence Crawford combinations are lacking. I'm not seeing the combinations that I say the same combinations that I see Canelo throw. I don't see Crawford throwing half of those.
Yeah,
Not saying that he can't do it, but maybe his training camp needs to step him up with combinations, work on that because we've seen him win fights, but it's not in no stunning fashion though. Come on, mix the combos up like EJ. Go to that body a little bit more.
You know what it is? You know what it is? And I keep telling people this, and why I feel like a lot of people are not looking at this fight the right way. The same thing with Lomachenko. and Teofimo Lopez, right? When you get in there with a more physical guy, a more dangerous guy, the things that you used to see in Crawford do and see at 140 and 135, he was throwing combinations and piecing guys up. The element of danger nullifies a lot of that because each punch that you throw in those combinations could cause you to get hit back, right? So those 4 or 5 punch combinations becomes 2 and 3 because you got to get the hell out of the way, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
that's this is what happens when you elevate in weight classes, and the element of danger that's coming back is higher. All of the fancy spinning and retiring guys on the stool that Lomachenko used to do, and then these fuckers telling
Yeah,
me that he's
yeah.
gonna retire Teofimo. I'm like, bro, have y'all lost your fucking mind? He did that at 135. I mean, at 130 and 126. He's not doing that to Teofimo. I said those guys he did that to at 126 and 130 weren't the size of this kid. They didn't have the
Yeah,
power of
that
this
do
kid.
make
I guarantee you he's
sense.
not
Yeah,
retiring
that
this
makes a
kid
lot
on
of
the
sense.
It didn't make no sense. So when Crawford comes to 147, look at the guys he's fought that he wasn't able to loosen up those 4 or 5 punch combinations. This was just Horn and Khan. And so y'all really think that he's going to be able to do that against Spence and Porter? Hell no.
Hell
4 or 5
no.
might get
And
him
Porter,
wrong.
Yo,
What's
can
up?
I get in on this? Can
Yeah,
I
go
get
ahead,
in
Jay.
on this?
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. Shout out to all y'all. I don't know who's on.
that's
I
Jody right here, man.
definitely. Okay. That who you? Who are you?
Jody Breeze.
Jody Breeze. All right. Shout out to you because you definitely motivated me to come off mute.
Hey,
Um.
appreciate that.
Porter definitely is that guy, the jack of all trades, master of a lot, whatever the saying is, but not good at anything. I don't remember how it was put.
Jack of
Um,
all trades, master of
Jack,
none.
that right, exactly. Mr. Danny Jacobs was kind of similar, not saying in styles, but pretty
Yeah.
much what he did and how you'll get this type of fighter and Danny in one fight, but he never mastered anything. All right, staying on the Porter situation. Yeah, I hear this. I heard you say something about mixing up combinations like EJ. I totally disagree with y'all, and this is why I disagree. Because EJ was that good at putting these combinations together, he'd be putting these dudes out of here. I don't want to hear he ain't stopping these guys because of these guys and who they are.
Yeah, so
Danny
we
was
talk about
Dan.
Crawford combinations, not Errol Spencer.
Okay, no, but he brought up EJ combinations too, so that's how I brought it. But
Okay.
Y'all
I get back.
compared y'all
I mean,
compared
I'm just letting
EJ
you
to
know where it
Crawford.
came from.
Yeah.
He did
Okay.
compare them.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead. Go
so
ahead. You got
okay,
it.
all right. Well, EJ, when I watch EJ foot speed gets in the way of a lot of times what he does. EJ is athletic. I wouldn't consider him fleet-footed, but I would consider him decently balanced. He's a strong guy. He's kind of up and down around his hips. He fights a little tight. He fights a little tall, but he's fluent in a way to where he can get some of that off. I contribute that to him starting off in the Mexican gyms, being in Dallas, Texas, and they like his dad and his stories say they started off in Mexican gyms because that's all
Try
they
to
can go to.
hey, I was gonna say try to wrap this back to Crawford and
I
Porter.
I
Same thing.
am. I am. So when you say Errol puts his combinations together, I don't think Errol stopped dudes because I don't think he know how to place his punches into and mix them up well enough to get dudes up out of it. Everything is kind of methodical with Errol. Like it's strong, it's sturdy, and it's consistent, but it ain't nothing, no change of speed. He don't shorten up shots to switch something in there to shoot up an uppercut to pull counter, use his shoulders to not I ain't saying Philly shell, because I say shoulders. Use his shoulders to change the timing of a speed of a shot. Going back to Bud, that's why I disagree with Jody Breeze when he said like Spence does. Okay, and that's why I came off mute. Bud does actually do that. You need to do your research and watch how he stopped Benavidez. He stopped Benavidez with an uppercut, changed it up, got up close, worked his way to get in, and changed it up and snuck the uppercut in that Benavidez didn't see. Jeff Horn, same thing, a bunches of punches. It was different angles. But it's, if I don't know if you see it or you may disagree, when it come down to balance and punch and place punchings, Bud is one of the top guys that does that in the sport. That's why he's actually knocking the guys out in welterweight. That's why he's finishing the deal, whether it is or who you think it is who is against. Because the dudes are still bigger than him, and he able to close the deal because he able to disguise his punches. You need to go back and watch a few of his fights. The Kell Brook fight, that one was a little different. It wasn't that much put into it. He switched up. Kell Brook kept backing up. Do you realize how balanced Kell Brook was when he committed to that right punch? And so when Bud hit him with that shot that came out as a jab and turned it to a hook, he just switched the twitch of his punch, and he instinctually changed how his punch came out when he seen the opening, and it's a thing that some fighters naturally have. So when you say a punch placer in a combination, I would argue we could go back fight for fight and watch who got the better combinations and who sneaks the punches in. That's why I don't think EJ is knocking dudes out because he don't put them punches together like that. Bud knocking them out because he does. So when you say a combination puncher, that's a guy who can switch different punches. He can jab at different heights. He can jab at different angles. He can drop his head and shoot the jab from different heights. Change the height of your jab, sneak, stab, jab, and everything. That's what I was talking about when you say a difference in combination. For as him stopping Porter, I'm taking bets. Y'all may not see it. I see it's perfectly clear. Porter is tailor made for Terence Crawford. Crawford not gonna sit in no pocket and let Porter dictate the range of the fight. Porter does jump in. He does jump in and close his distance. He's very explosive when it comes to jumping in and closing the distance. Porter problem is, in which I think Kenny got away from, he worked on his athleticism part of boxing and not building his skill set. If Porter had hand speed along with foot balance and placement, and his hands can move as fast as his feet, he'll probably be more effective in getting them punches all when he bombards you. But being in the fact that he jumps in, but his feet has to stop to land something effectively, a guy that knows how to dictate pace and range, like a Crawford does. Crawford arms is too long to sit in the pocket with Porter. He's not going to stand in the pocket and let Porter advantage him and disadvantage Crawford.
Yeah.
Advantage Porter and disadvantage Crawford. Look how long his arm is. So
So
a guy with long arms does not sit up there. And I mean, at least I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
about to let no guy. Hold on, I'm almost finished, player. I'm
let
almost finished.
him talk,
I'm
man.
almost finished. I'm almost finished. I got long arms for my size and my height. I'm not about to let nobody get in that kitchen and make my and use that against me. I have to have room to keep you at the end of my punches. And Bud, with his the way he boxes, because he thinks in there, he makes adjustments. He switches up. I know you got to give him that. I don't see Bud letting Porter disrupt and control and dictate the range of the fight. Range could be anything from how you step, how you counter, how you take away space, and when a guy gets too close, how you're jabbing to keep a guy at the range of your shots. Porter does not make Bud uncomfortable with that. Bud adjusts, catches Porter, times him, and I believe Porter gets stops.
Yeah, look, check this out, man. That all that sounds good. Uh, I don't know, Jay. How many times you been over here?
This is my second time.
Second time. Sound like you know what's going on inside of that ring. Uh, you know, you have a
I actually coach, bro. I
okay.
coach, but I mean I do. But
Cool. No, no,
I
cool.
mean
I just wanted to see.
I get this credit a lot because people, they think they call me this Bud, that. I am
No,
a
no,
fan of
no, no.
Bud, but I mean it
Hey,
is what it is.
but let me look. See this fantasy boxing prediction league, man. You should come join us because we got a lot of boxing minds in there. We have some fun. It's a free league. You don't have to pay to get it.
Hmm.
You can win money every week. It's a good time. So come check us out, Fantasy Boxing Prediction League.
I
Um,
gotta find your channel. I don't know what channels this is. I just be going through YouTube and I
uh,
just run across it every now and then. Like this is my second time actually seeing you on YouTube. I never even heard of this channel.
Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Speak Your
Or
Mind Sports.
speaking or speaking my I got you. I
Yeah.
remember that.
So no, I like the breakdown, but I just like okay. So you're a coach, and you can understand where I'm getting ready to come from with this.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
the skill level. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we look at skill fighters, as far as concerning the sweet science and fighters
Mm-hmm.
that Sean Porter has faced, right? But that were inclined with the sweet science, controlling distance, lateral movement, weight transition,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth, right? It takes me back to uh, Keith Thurman, who at the time was one time Keith Thurman, not this once upon a time Keith Thurman we have now, right? He was one time Keith Thurman, and still was able to offer him these same difficulties. Now, not to say that Keith Thurman is the boxer. I do believe that Crawford is a better boxer. He definitely has a better reach than Keith Thurman, but just from the aspect of a boxer, that understands range and distance and the things that you explain, and Shawn still being able to implement that type of pressure. I don't listen. It's not about Crawford with me. It's about the lack of what I've seen Crawford do in other fights where he allowed certain guys to get in where he really shouldn't have. Jeff Horn's a perfect example. Now, although he beat the hell out of Jeff Horn, and I'm pretty sure you can remember this. I was doing commentary on the fight by blow. I believe it was the third round, third or the fifth. What Jeff Horn rushed in there. He backed him into the corner and he fired off a body shot straight in the hook. Right? Jeff Horn's a boxer that should be able to do that with a guy like Crawford. Especially Crawford has the reach of a Jamal Charlo. Right? So this is why he essentially beat the hell out of Jeff Horn until it was a mercy stoppage from the ref because Jeff Horn couldn't get it. But if lower level boxer is Jeff Horn, because Chuck is definitely a better boxer than Jeff Horn, but they both have this bruising, bull rushing type style. If he was able to get in there and lay some leather on Crawford, man, like again, Crawford offense is so inclined that how some fighters' offense can be their defense. This is Crawford, but he's not a defensive specialist by any means. And so I really believe that Porter's going to find himself inside of there. He's going to give him a lot of issues.
It's a fight. It's a fight. It's going to happen. A fight is going to happen. Now, don't think when I say he's going to dominate him. Domination could be determined how the fight ends and stop, and how you pretty much dominate the fight of the round. They're gonna have times that was Porter was elite, athleticism gonna be able to get in. Now what happens and what the adjustments is made is what I'm banking on. I think Crawford gonna make those adjustments to take away that, because if Jeff Horn, like you said, but also Jeff Horn was able to get in, and that's actually a good comparison, because even though they're kind of slightly different, the things they do is comparable.
Similar,
But yeah, Bud was moving up too at the same time. But I'm not making no excuses. But you I do think the adjustments will be made to allow Porter, because he throughout a 12-round part of the fight, all the fight is going to get crazy. Bud don't have what the Spence, the physical. I don't think Bud is like Spence. I'm not trying to go there.
You know what,
Can I
Coach?
say
You know
one
what,
thing
Coach?
real quick? I
Yeah,
want to add one thing.
real quick, Jody.
One thing.
Hold on, Jody.
Keith,
Real
can you hear
quick.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear both of y'all. Hold on, right quick, Jody. I'm gonna let you jump in, but I want to ask
Oh,
Coach this from a coach perspective, right? Think about this,
mm-hmm,
Coach. And you were saying that about. I was just kind of leaning on what you were saying about Bud and Phil Horn and Shawn Porter, right? You know how they say when Crawford first transitioned to 147, where I'm inclined to I hear what you're saying. That was his first fight. He hadn't acclimated,
mm-hmm,
bumped up their both, right? So you see Crawford acclimate to the division, and things are going
mm-hmm,
to be different. And we know that he definitely has the propensity to adjust within the fight, right?
right.
But from the sweet science coach, we know that these guys are trained from traditional boxing style. Crawford
Mm-hmm.
is fucking awkward, man. He's too fucking awkward. And the things he does is not something that you get into the gym and train against, right? Not
He
traditional. Not traditional.
Key. Can I say this about Key right quick?
Yeah,
Because y'all go back and watch this.
hold on, real
Key
quick.
didn't have a jab.
Hold
He
on, hold
didn't
on,
have
hold
a
on.
jab.
Jay, real quick, bro. Let
Uh,
me let Jody jump in, and then you get
okay.
yourself. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Jody.
Yeah. One thing I'm gonna say, like, I'm not a Crawford fan, but I can say he has a high IQ. So it might not look like he's so super aggressive, But what he does, like, I'm gonna use a kid reference. Back in the day, when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You put a monster down, but you also put them face down. Them the traps. He set people into traps. I've seen a lot of fighters off of Crawford traps. He would throw something a certain way to make the eye pick up as, oh, I'm about to capitalize on that. But as soon as they try to capitalize on it, he flips back the trap card like, yes, that's what I wanted you to do. And I noticed Crawford sneaky like that. So when it looks like Jeffs is jumping in, it's not because he's Crawford's not aware of it. He's aware and he's allowing him to come in. It's like if you was in a trap spot, leave the door open, somebody run in here. Hey, we got 3 or 4, we got 12. No, we don't know how many people in there, but just know if you're foolish enough to run in, you might catch something that you wasn't expecting. So that's why I believe like it's not that he doesn't see what goes on. He allows these dudes to feel comfortable. The more comfortable they get, that's when he catches them with that okey doke real quick.
I agree.
None.
I
The,
agree.
the answer to that
I agree.
question yeah. The answer to that question, Joshua, is none. Porter makes every fight look different. With every fighter, it's just his style, man. He's not been
But
even broke that.
what's
People
your what's your
think,
name, bro? Like, what's your name?
who's that? Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, the co-host. I mean, the
No,
host.
D Jefferson.
The- this your channel, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He Porter ain't gonna be able to dictate that pace.
No,
That's
no,
why
no,
I'm
no.
confident stop.
I'm not saying he'll dictate the pace. I was just
I mean,
telling.
the fight. Dictate the fight.
No, no, you're not going to dictate the fight with Crawford. I don't. Anybody that can dictate the fight with Crawford can beat him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I
Yeah.
mean,
I agree. I
that's
agree.
serious. That's how I look at it. If you can dictate the fight with Crawford, you can beat him. Yeah, that's the
I agree.
problem. You don't want to
I
dictate
agree.
the fight with
if
Crawford.
if anybody that wants to dictate the fight with Crawford, that's Crawford. Crawford has two. That's one of his. I would say that would probably be a way of beating him. And the thing about Crawford is he's so offensively aggressive, like the guy just pointed out. He's a front foot dominant fighter too. At the same time, like that's not the same pressure as like a Triple G or a Spence, but it's still effective because the difference is you find a guy that's crafty.
Yeah,
And like he said, he baits you in with fates, he baits you in with angles, but y'all need to watch his footwork. Crawford could get a lot of his shots off and hit hard because he got good foot placement. Like his toe to his foot game, his toe to the back of his foot is what is different from everybody else's. He don't need to have his foot placed a certain way to punch us and land a certain shot. That's another thing that he just naturally has
yeah,
and what
yeah,
have
yeah.
you. Like
I
so,
seen
like
him do that plenty.
all all
Yeah.
all guys are different and they load it. And can let me just touch this. Y'all look at that Keith Thurman thing. You brought it up. Keith allowed Pacquiao to beat him because Keith don't have an educated jab. Keith allowed Shawn Porter to get in his kitchen and not dictate the space and the range because he does not jab effectively. A guy Keith Thurman big jab. He don't use a jab to keep you out, to keep you at range, or keep
Hey, coach, I think you're breaking up, coach.
but
Players underwater.
Hey, coach,
you
you're electrocuting us, man. I
oh
think you're
Your mic
breaking up.
probably flat. You probably got to move around a little
Um,
bit.
Yeah, but
Let me jump in here, D. Let me jump in
oh
yeah,
I'm
here.
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yo, I'm back. I'm
All
back.
right,
I'm
all
back.
right. Go
My bad.
ahead.
Can I was about to say Keith Thurman don't have a jab. He don't have an educated jab. Keith Thurman only uses his jab to set up big shots. You go back and watch the Pacquiao fight and watch the Shawn Porter fight and watch how none of them guys had to worry about Keith Thurman with a feint or a jab to worry about coming forward. And when you don't have a jab against guys that can jump in like Pacquiao and Porter, the difference from Pacquiao got hand speed with his foot and he got foot hand coordination. Shawn Porter just got explosive speed. He don't have foot and feet and hand coordination. So well, that's why he got to stop to punch. Shawn Pacquiao can jump in and punch and don't miss a beat. Keith Thurman don't have a jab, and that's why he lost the Pacquiao fight, and that's why the Shawn Porter fight looked harder than what it is. Bud has a jab, and plus he can step back and hit you on an angle.
Hey, coach, Monty, I'm gonna let Monty jump in right quick. But coach, I just
Okay.
want to tell you this, and because I agree with what you're saying, but I know that you've noticed this if you've been analyzing Crawford. Now, not too many guys have been able to do this. This is what makes Crawford good. But when Crawford gets hit, and he gets hit good, he abandons that fucking jab, fam. And I've seen it over and over again. And you gotta admit that, coach. Because
He's a fighter. He's a fighter. Like you're right.
Hold on, coach. Let me get this off. You're right.
Okay.
And that's what I was about to allude to. He has that dog in him. It's almost this thing like, oh, you just hit me, I'm gonna get you back.
Facts.
And that's what he has in him. That's the type of shit that can actually get him into trouble versus an Errol Spence. But I've seen him do this. Like we can acknowledge what fighters have, but we also have to acknowledge their habits. And Crawford's habit is that he abandons some of these things that he does so well with the sweet science. Once he tastes a good hit, he does it often.
Okay. All right. That's true.
We got a bunch of people.
Okay.
So, shouts out to you, my bro. D, what's going down, D? What's going down, Brody?
What's up,
Listen,
man?
bro, for the people thinking that Bud is gonna knock out Shawn Porter, they gotta be crazy, bro. I'm gonna say this. Porter
Call me crazy.
All right, let me finish. Look, you can't time Shawn Porter, bro. It's hard. Like you gotta catch his ass doing some stupid shit. That's why everybody that he fought, and D says something that I liked it. Then you can go all the way back to Devin Alexander when he won his first title, bro.
Right.
Devin is a fucking jabber, right? But his timing, bro, like you say, he's awkward. Yes, you're gonna have to think and try to catch his ass coming in, or you're gonna have to fight him. Because if you box him, you're not knocking him out. You just go box him to a 12-round decision. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, Bud is a hell of a fighter. Bud got angle. That would make him great as well. But that southpaw shit, like Porter told you, you're not what the things Bud been doing against the opponents that he's been doing against, he can get away with, bro. He can get away with. And that's just being real. You're not fit to knock out no A-level fighters. Not saying you can't do it, but you're not fit to knock out no A-level fighters fighting the way that Bud fought. I'm sorry, bro. Not just coming forward like that. You feel me? When you look at Errol Spence, hold on, bro. I just seen you say, oh, Errol Spence haven't knocked out nobody because he don't got the precision to knock him out. Well, Bud, I will say Bud got better precision, but Errol Spence has precision. It's just the level of fighters that he's fighting, bro. Shawn Porter got some of the best fucking conditioning in the game. So he can recover quick. Once he get hit with a shot, he recover quick. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at Bud coming in fighting Shawn Porter, Bud, he's avoiding the Shawn Porter fight a little bit himself because he knows it's a rough and tough fight. He's not
He ain't avoiding no fighting. That's not facts. That's not facts. You space on opinion.
Hold on, Barney. Let me catch this right quick. Coach, I know this your first time over here, fam, but this ain't no freak smoke panel, fam. I like to let everybody talk. I will definitely let you into rebuttal, but we don't do no cutting each other off over here, fam. We don't do it like that. Go ahead, Monty. Go ahead, finish the statement.
Yeah, as I was saying.
Finish.
Yeah.
Here, you gotta go. If you're on in 20 minutes, I'll be back on.
All right, appreciate you, Brian. I'll be here.
Right, no worries, man. Have a good one.
Right. Now, like I was saying, he was avoiding a Porter fight for a little bit for a reason. Now he's saying he wants the Porter fight because it's maybe be the only big fight on the table for him, bro. When Bob was trying to get him in that fight, he wanted no parts of the fight. He didn't want the fight. He knew it's gonna be a tough fucking fight. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I picked Bud to beat. I got Bud beating Shawn. I got him beating him. But talking about knocking him out, y'all gotta be crazy with the knockout, bro. And now with Errol Spence, Errol have been knocked out the last 3 opponents because they are A-level opponents. And when you're an A-level opponent, you know how to survive in the ring if you don't want to get knocked out. Michael Garcia was starting to survive. Shawn Porter was in great fucking shape, the best shape of his life. That's the best shape he ever been in a fight. He said it himself. But Errol still dropped his ass. He still dropped him. And Errol fought him at his game where he could have boxed him. You understand what I'm saying? And then with Danny Garcia, who have knocked out Danny? Nobody ever even dropped Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
Nobody ever even dropped him. But Errol went in there and beat him the worst of anybody ever beat him. You see what I'm saying? So we can't say, oh, Errol Spence, he ain't been knocking out nobody. You're not going to knock out everybody. But I bet you this, if you put all the Bud opponents in the ring with Errol Spence, they won't last neither. That's how I feel. But if you put, oh my God. If you put, all right, let me finish, bro. Now, if you put Jeff Horn, a come forward fighter, everybody Bud fought was a come forward fighter. Jeff Horn, he's not going to last with Errol Spence. You put Benavidez in there, he's not going to last with Errol Spence. Amir Khan damn sure ain't going to last. Errol already stopped fucking Kell Brook, and Mean Machine damn sure ain't going to make it. So them not the caliber of fighters that Errol has been fighting. So if you saying Bud go stop Porter, he's going to have to show us that he can stop Porter. He got to show us that he can stop Mikey. He has to show us that he can stop Danny. You have to show us. You got to get those fights to prove to us that you can do those type of things. You see what I'm saying? Bud is one hell of a fighter, and I like Bud. I ride for him as well. But he's not, y'all just putting out her, oh, he's going to stop Shawn Porter. Well, okay, then you say you're taking all bets. We will be here to take those bets. We will be here to take those bets. So with Earl Spence and a combination, his pace to me, D, and I've been saying this, it ain't gonna be the size to beat Terence Crawford. It's gonna be the pace and the body work, bro. And what I'm nervous about Earl Spence is Terence Crawford will punch with you. He gets that with chest and he will punch with you. And when you punch it with a person, we all know D, who is whoever get there first. And if Bud hit your ass on the chin and you wide open, I don't care who you is, you're going down.
You hurt. You hurt.
Can I ask him what his breakdown about the body work?
You do got precision.
Can I ask you about how he's gonna set up the body work against Bud? Like what he gonna do to set the body work up?
Bud has.
I'll let Bonnie explain it, but I got an easy explanation for that. Go ahead, Bonnie.
I'm gonna say this. Bud has been surprising people, bro. Switching southpaw, right? They come out, they fight him. He goes southpaw. It throws him off. We all know it's difficult fighting a southpaw. You not go out south. This is just my opinion. You're not gonna out southpaw Earl Spence, or you're not go confuse Earl with being a southpaw. But Earl Spence going down to the body is part of his DNA, bro. That is part of his DNA to go to the body. His combination punches is jab, then go to the body, and you duck off on your ass. But he's going to get to your body. The body don't move.
So, how you gonna set it up though? Like how he's gonna set up a Crawford?
Working his jab. Earl Spence got one of the best jabs in the game, bro. You got to understand, Terence Crawford likes to fight, as you just alluded to. He's a fighter. You know what I mean? So he's going to get in there. And plus, he got an ego tip. Bud got a big fucking ego. But you saying how he's going to set it up, that's going to be his game plan. But you work everything off the jab, bro. Earl Spence set up everything off the jab. He got one of the best jabs. I mean, he don't just throw the same jab out there for you to time that shit. He throw it once, he does it, he triple it. You see what I'm saying? He shoot it to the chest. He know how to work his jab, bro. And you best believe Eric James gonna have a hell of a game plan going up against the Terence Crawford.
Can I rebuttal that?
Oh, coach, jump in there, coach.
All right. First of all, Danny was just timing Errol jab coming over the jab in the fight you just watched. So don't sit up here and act like his jab is something we ain't never saw. Errol jab and hey, you just said don't cut me off. Danny was able to time Errol Spence jab, and Danny holds his hands in his pocket and he fights straight up and down. Errol jab ain't nothing spectacular. You gotta have multiple things you can do to come and time Errol jab. Well, I think Bud is gonna time Errol jab because you just said he's not gonna out southpaw him. These guys don't realize how Bud be inching closer and lining up his hands or lining up his shots by stepping out on the outside of their foot, and they don't even realize that he didn't done it. They're so focused on working on his output or worry about keeping him in front or thinking about the shots they about to do. They don't even realize how he didn't switch to southpaw and how he started lining his foot up on the outside of their foot so he can shorten up his punch and land that left hand. Like, it's just multiple things he does do. Yes, Bud is a fighter, naturally. Yes, he does have this ego when he get hit. But the only thing it cost him was in the Kavaliauskas fight, and then we saw what happened afterwards. And, I mean, you want to say the Gamboa fight, yeah, we saw it, but we saw what happened afterwards. It's still timing, it's still thought process put on it. Y'all act like when Bud get hit, Bud just abandoning everything. And I ain't say you said it, but when y'all breaking it down, it's like he abandons everything and just say, fuck it, I'm fighting now. Like, fuck my skill, fuck my footwork, fuck everything I have. I just want to get me back. His aggression and his front foot dominance looks that way and it appears to be that way, but it's still thought process behind his logic of when he gets frustrated and when he get hit. So you're very right. And if you're a skilled enough fighter to take advantage of that, use that in your arsenal so you can time also make
breaking up.
Coach.
Oh shit. Hello?
Coach, electrocution again. Let me jump in here for a second, Coach. While you get
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm driving, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm driving. I drive trucks. I'm on my way back from Dallas. All right, so look, everything you said was based off of opinion on who will fight, who will win against who. We ain't seen none of those fights. That's based off of you.
Let me give you a breakdown, and again, everything that all of us said, Coach, is based on opinion, because this is all speculation until we see these guys get into the fight. So that's valid. Okay, only thing we can do is assess these fights on what we know concerning boxing. But let me give you my breakdown, Coach, a little bit on how Spence gets in there. And not only does he get in there, but he gets in there effectively and efficiently. Listen, I think that when we talk about footwork, let's start with the footwork. Now, Coach, I love talking to guys like you because you coach guys, so you know the importance of footwork, right? Okay. It's also Spence's footwork that is going to allow him to get in. Errol Spence Jr. People don't pay attention to footwork. That motherfucker step back is second to none. Anybody at the 147-pound division. And I dare you to tell me somebody who has a better step back. The way he utilizes that step back, right? He'll throw a jab or body shot, bounce back, weight transitions very well. And then he gets back in, throw another jab, bow, back to the body.
Where's Happy at?
I know, I understand, Coach, but your question was, how does he get in? I didn't say that look, both of these guys are going to get hit. This is a clear understanding. They're both going to get hit. Errol Spence was doing what I'm explaining to you with Lamar Peterson, and Lamar Peterson was finding the target. So we're not saying that Spence is going to get in and get out without getting hit. No, we're not saying that. Your question was, how does he get in? He's going to get in off of his footwork alone. Crawford ain't been in the ring with nobody, my friend, at 147 that has that footwork. That athleticism, that explosiveness, that inside, that outside, that step back. Ain't nobody.
Can I say one thing?
What step back you talking about,
Spence? Hold on. Let Jody go. Hold on. Let Jody jump in. And then I'll explain it. I'll give you a couple of examples.
Crawford hasn't fought nobody with that footwork you're talking about, but he's been in the ring and mentored and trained a guy with that footwork. And I think you know who I'm talking about, Shakur Stevenson. That man is amazing. And he has access to Shakur Stevenson like anybody's best friend, brother, father, you know, that's a father-son bond. And Shakur Stevenson, all he has to do is really talk to Bud. They go running for 2 weekends, go camp for a month or two. Bingo right there. Shakur, his footwork is above a lot of these young cats.
It is.
Bud is a real dude that really works with Shakur a lot.
You know, Jody, that's a good point. But you know where you fall short there? Shakur Stevenson ain't no goddamn 165 pounds, man. Okay? That all sounds good. That all sounds good. But that motherfucker ain't that monster we call Errol Spence with that kind of footwork. Because that's who Crawford's going to be in the ring with, not little old Shakur Stevenson.
Facts. Let me say this, dude. Mikey Garcia is one of the best boxers in boxing. Would you agree, D?
Mikey, I know he had great timing, Phil.
Moved up from a lower weight class. But go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. Indeed. You know how I kill that shit when they always talking about Mikey came up from a little weight class? Guess who else came up from a little weight class, D?
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. So don't give me that little weight class shit. Because if they're just like the Pacquiao and the Marquez shit with Floyd. Bud came from 135 and he up at 147 now. So I don't want to hear that shit, right? So like I was gonna say, Mikey is one of the best pure boxers in the game. He's fundamentally sound, bro. Great jab, know how to set up his shit, right? Errol outboxed this man for 12 rounds. Showed the boxing IQ, right? Went in there and banged it out with Porter. Went in there and used his jab against Danny. Showing this against all these are A-level fighters. I don't care what nobody say, bro. These are world champions. Motherfuckers still at the top of their game right now. That you ain't no regular fighter go beat these dudes. You see what I'm saying? Now when we get to Terence Crawford, Bud is a bad boy, man. I get this dude all his credit in the world, right? But it's a reason why you got the purrs that was coming up in the game saying that Bud ain't enough for Errol. You see what I mean? A lot of people say this Bud ain't enough for Errol. Yes, we're looking at the eye test, and I like Bud. I like the skill set on him, bro. I like the skill set on him. But when it comes to Errol Spence and his pace, bro, and his determination, Bud is not gonna be able to stop that shit. The pace of Errol Spence is gonna force Bud to fight. It's gonna force him to fight, and Bud is gonna fight. Once the shit get going, he's gonna want to fight, bro. You did, and that's what gonna be the same with Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter said that what he said on the show was absolutely right, and I agree with what Shawn Porter said when he's like, "Bud, you're not gonna have time to adjust in the ring with me. I'm not gonna give you that luxury. I'm not one of these other fighters to where
that shit sound good.
All right. Just like it sound good with y'all talking about he gonna knock him out. All right, but like he said,
Right,
and all we can do is go off of what D said, off of what we've seen from these fighters lately, and what we see from Shawn Porter. Like he said, he's not going to give you time to adjust in the ring. So if you go fight southpaw, you better be southpaw. If you go fight orthodox, you better be orthodox because you're already a slow starter, and you don't want to get around away.
You stay in Dallas? You stay in Dallas?
I'm in St. Louis, man. So when
Oh,
we looking
damn!
at
I was hoping you was in Dallas, boy.
you ain't got to hope I was in Dallas. When we looking at the situation,
No. There's a reason. Ain't no threat or anything. I mean, I won't bet you. I want to take your money, and I want to meet you face to face too.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Real quick. If look, the betting ain't no big problem. We can talk about that later. I broke the bets all the time. I broke the bets with people all the time. So y'all, if you're serious about the bet, you can. Both of you guys can put the bet in escrow, which means you put your fucking money, fam. You drop. I got PayPal, Cash App, however you want to do it. You drop your bet, Monty drop his bet, and the other person, whoever wins, get that shit PayPal to him. No fee.
Exactly.
I got 500 on Bud beating Spence when that fight happened with Monty.
Boxing now, y'all can get more bets off any time, fam. I do it all the time for you.
I don't know what I want bet on Porter yet. I don't know what I want bet on the knockout yet. But I want to bet you on the knockout. I'm betting on the knockout that Bud knocks Shawn Porter out.
Yeah, we gonna bet on the knockout anything. But like I was saying, the same thing with Shawn Porter. He's not gonna get Bud time to think. And Bud is just on the fly. I like Bud. Listen, we talk to Bo Mac all the time. We talk to Bo Mac's son all the time. We talk to Tyrese Cook. We talk to people in the camp. We go back and forth all the time, bro. So I know what's coming with Bud. We know that Bud is a fucking gym rat. He's a killer. But Earl Spence is a gym rat and a killer also, bro. You know what I'm saying? And y'all sleep on Earl Spence's skill set because, like I say, D, he haven't put it all together in one fight. He haven't put everything or outbox you, outbang you in one fight like Bud has because the level of competition, bro. The level of competition, is not gonna let you do it because they know how to adjust with you. You see what I'm saying?
That's your best argument right there. I like that. I like that.
I got to put for free on a little bit.
All right, hold on, man. Y'all let Monty finish.
I'm finna wrap it up. Once Bud get in there with the A-level competition, and if he do the shit that y'all saying he gonna do, then much respect to him. That he's a bad motherfucker. I already got him as a bad boy. But I promise you, bro, it's gonna be a different caliber of fights. It's gonna be different. If me and a lot of people take that away from. If Mean Machine can touch you, bro. If Benavidez can touch you, if Brooke can touch you, you're going to get touched by these other fighters, dog, and you're going to have to make some real major adjustments to beat these dudes that can adjust back with your ass, dog. And that's what it's going to be. And I like Bud, and I do got him beat everybody besides Errol Spence at 147. See what I'm saying?
So when Shawn Porter gets stopped, what you gonna say? Can you just answer the question? No, Manny. You just said. Hold on. You just said we're crazy to think he's gonna knock out Shawn Porter. If Bud fights Shawn Porter next and Bud stop him, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say next?
I just told you I would be surprised as fuck. That would be a shock to me. I would be shocked if Terence Bud Crawford knocks out. And then what else can I say but get that motherfucker his credit? But I would be shocked, and I would lose a lot of money that day. But I would be shocked if he knocked out Shawn Porter. It would shock me. Yes, it will.
I would be shocked too because listen, Coach, this is what I'm saying. Okay, I will give y'all a perfect example of this shit right here, and I hope that this resonates. I hope that this resonates because many Crawford fans that's not objective about this thing. Because like me and Monty on the same page with Crawford and Spence. Me and Monty actually like Crawford, but we talked to a bunch of people that like Spence and they hate Crawford. Like we ain't like that. We actually like Crawford, right? I like the way to do box. I like everything about Crawford. But here's the problem. And where I think people get lost. We look at the Errol Spence fight with Mikey Garcia, right? And Errol Spence displayed this skill set. It was beautiful, it was nice, and he outboxed him. But the Crawford fans that don't want to accept that as boxing acumen, they say he did it to little old Mikey. Well, you guys have to apply that to Terence Crawford because all of this beauty that you guys are accustomed to seeing happen against the smaller guys. When he got to 147, although he did stop these guys, look at the difference in the boxing. Now, y'all got to be honest about it. Don't tell me the boxing was as beautiful at 147 as it been at 140 and 135.
Look
See, the
more aggressive.
okay,
He just look more aggressive.
hold on, because I know that Crawford fans, and not you, but sometimes they don't like to hear this because these comparisons are valid, though, right? If at 147, we're not going to give Spence credit for his boxing acumen, and I'm talking about just boxing, then how could you guys apply that the same to Crawford? Because when you get guys in there of a higher level, these things that you were able to do with guys that's not at that level, they don't exist anymore. And we can say that Crawford will be able to do it, but we need to see him do it. And we have not
Well,
seen him do it at a high level at 147. These bigger, more physical, more stronger guys. It was the same shit that I was telling the droves of people coming through here about why Lomachenko wouldn't be able to do all of this fancy spinning and turning and pivoting against Teofimo because he was the bigger, stronger guy. The element of danger of what's coming back when you do these
yeah.
things is immense. So you don't see it as much. When Crawford gets in there with the top 5 guy, not the damn Jeff Horns and the cons that was terrified of him. Of course,
He
you're
was
gonna
top 5 though.
hold on, dude, coach, hold on. Not these guys that were terrified of him. I don't want to hear top 5 rankings. I'm talking about top 5 compared to us reasonably. You can buy a ranking. We all know this. When we talk about the politics of this, these guys can buy a fucking ranking. So I'm not talking about where they were ranked in the WBC or the WBO. I'm talking about our honest assessment. You're a coach, fam. Your eyes. Do you think Khan was fucking top 5? Be honest.
I
No.
didn't say time. I'm talking about Jeff Horn.
Do you think
Jeff Horn
Jeff
was top
Horn was
5.
top 5? No.
After he beat Pacquiao, he was.
Hey, listen, fam. I know where he was ranked. I'm talking about what we know from boxing. You're a coach, so you know Jeff Horn cannot box. Let's not do this. You're a coach, so you know he's not a level boxer, B level. He's not a good boxer, fam. Okay, coach.
You trying to walk me into a room where I don't agree. Like I
Do me
don't
a
agree
favor.
with it.
All right, coach, do me a favor and let me finish this, fam. Because you can keep coming back with the stuff you don't agree with. I understand you don't agree with. But this is what I'm saying that people are not understanding. Jeff Horn's not a good boxer. He's not. I'm not going to argue the fact that Jeff Horn's a good boxer. He's showing us he's not a good boxer. He bullied. This is a motherfucker who went to 160 after fighting Manny Pacquiao. Clearly, he muscled and sized him out in that fight. Clearly.
True.
Okay, so
That's
I'm
true.
not going to sit here and over project Jeff Horn's boxing acumen. He doesn't have it. When you get in the ring with a guy who has a higher skill level of boxing, he is the more physical guy. He's going to offer these. You can look pretty against smaller guys. That's the same. That's the same complaint everybody gets about. Spence did that to little old Mikey. Okay, well, Crawford did that to little old Gamboa. I know y'all gonna say, well, he was at that weight class, but if this motherfucker is this size, walking around at 165, it is the same thing that Crawford said himself. Me and Mikey were too big for those guys back then. Crawford admitted that. He said Mikey was a weight bully. He said he called me a weight bully. Well, me and Mikey was too big for those guys. So he admitted that. So now this is a bigger guy with the skill level that Crawford has. Well, once you move up and you get in line with those bigger guys, you ain't able to do all of this fancy stuff you were against the easier opponents. Because in Dongo, ain't no damn Spence. So what we saw Crawford looking pretty at 140 against a Dongo, forget about it when we're talking about Porter or Spence. It's going to be more difficult to show that level of skill against these guys. Much more difficult.
These boys think Spence is just a C level or B level fighter or some shit.
Can I rebuttal?
Go ahead.
Can I rebuttal?
And let's keep this to Porter, because this is what this live is about. Let's not even get to Spence, because that fight ain't even in line. I think that he faced these similar problems with Porter. Let's start with Porter. Let's keep it on Porter, because he faces these problems with Porter, whether people want to accept it or not.
Facts.
Well, excuse my confidence that I got Bud beaten. Y'all gonna be surprised. I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm confident. That's why I'm saying I'm willing to put money on a stoppage. I haven't decided how it's gonna happen because at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. It's a confident opinion because how I feel when I watching the two dudes fight. But I don't know. Boxing is boxing. Anything can happen. Bud can struggle for 7 rounds with the spacing, but be leaning and claiming shots, and then stop him. And then y'all come on here and tell me, "Well, I told you he's gonna give him problems." I understand a fight has to happen. I guess the fan in me sometimes allows me to say, "Well, he gonna stop Porter. He gonna stop Porter." I really believe he can stop Porter. I see him stopping Porter. I don't see it as a hard task. I don't see the struggles or the self belief that y'all need to still find out. Because when I look at fights, I look at what option fighter A and fighter B bring to the table. I do believe it's a strong opinion that these guys that Bud fight is lower level the guys when they haven't fought the guys on the other side of the street to even determine that. So that's to me when I get lost in the sauce when we start arguing that because none of them guys fought any of those guys that Bud fought to determine what level of fighter they are, and we get that thrown out aloud. That's what I was saying was an opinion, which I know we argue and debate opinions in boxing anyway because it's pretty much what our perspective or what we see. So when you say a fighter can be beat or a fighter is a certain level, when them two fighters have not fought, I don't get how you can determine who can beat this one and who could beat that one. Okay, back to Porter. Porter and the things he do wrong. Yes, he's a great athlete, and let's compare him. Bud is a great athlete. Porter's a great athlete. Bud trains hard in Colorado, run the mountains. That has a very hard training camp and diligent training camp. So does Porter. Porter is in great shape. We never seen Porter physically tired. I think the traps that I think the Manny dude, the St. Louis cat,
Yeah.
uh, talked about. That's the mental. I even say I think I said on here last time. It ain't gonna be the physical tiresome, physical getting tired that Porter struggle with. It's gonna be the mental. Because when you're in there with a guy that's just in shape as you and that's a little sharper and that can make better decisions and think better at that level, yeah, it's different and what have you. Yes, Porter is. I don't consider B Porter a class fighter. I consider him a B level fighter. Porter is good enough to give anybody their L on a good night. But the thing, Porter makes too many mistakes, and he made a lot of mistakes in all his fights that he lost. You say nobody has never timed and disrupt Porter. I remember Kell Brook, whether he was holding him or jabbing him, and jab, 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 and hold, was able to time him and keep Porter and disrupt him. Some would say Porter wanted to slightly engage. He wasn't jumping in as much. You can come up whatever you came up with, but Porter was not able to do what Porter normally does. And my point when I was bringing up earlier about a jab, Carol Brooks' jab obviously is effective enough because we've seen Carol Brooks' jab against Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, and Shawn Porter. That's three elite welterweights. And we've seen that he can jab all three of those guys. We've seen what he did with Errol, we've seen what he did with Bud, and we've seen what he did with Porter. I was saying earlier, keep it back on Porter, but a certain fighter didn't have a jab to establish that to keep Porter out of his situation. Any fighter that can have a jab, that can step back, that can counter and disrupt Porter's timing and rhythm, what Bud will do, Porter's gonna have a problem with that. Porter ain't gonna be able to jump in and bombard against a guy who's punching, who's an effective puncher. Bud punches on too many different angles. He still have balance when he step. Bud balance is the reason why he punched so effectively because he could get his feet under his punch quicker than most fighters can. So when Porter is jumping in and Porter trying to go rough, there's going to come a time when Porter get tired. It won't be physically, it will be mentally. And when he get mentally tired, that's when he's going to be open to being stopped.
Now
Now,
let me ask that. Let
hold
me
on,
get
hold on, right quick, now, real quick, Coach. Uh,
Good.
this is my guy, my partner, IBT. We're going to be doing some analysis, fight breakdown analysis. Now, listen, I'm gonna just tell you like this, Coach, which is why I didn't argue with you because I'm not always up on the analytics, but this guy here is one of my go-to guys for the analytics. So this is what he says: the highest rated opponent Terence Crawford ever beat at welterweight was Jeff Horn, who was never top five. He was rated at 8, so he never beat a top five guy, Coach. Now I'm gonna I'm definitely going to lean with IBT on this because, like I said, this is one of my go-to guys on the analytics. Coach, I would challenge you to find out to disprove that because I don't think that IBT is wrong on this. He never fought a top 5 guy at 147, man. Never.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. I could have told you that one
Hey,
day, but that's my thing, right? I never said Porter couldn't be timed. I said it's going to be hard to time Porter with what he do, bro. Porter stutter step, he feints, he do all this type of shit that try to throw your ass off your rhythm, right? Now, nobody look. I never denied that Bud is not gonna be Porter. I say I got Bud beating Porter. I just don't got him knocking him out. It's like I said. I would be shocked as fuck if he can knock him out now. But all these people that had success against Shawn Porter, I mean, sorry, against Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? Everybody that he's faced almost has some success against him. Now, if you're telling me Porter's not gonna have success against this man and make this fight rough and tough, you got to be crazy, bro. You got to be crazy. Looking at Porter resume, we know Porter resume is way better than Terence Crawford resume. We know this for a fact. We know this for a fact. And nobody has stopped this man. Nobody has stopped this man. And Porter is saying some of everything from all caliber of fighters. You understand what I'm saying? Now, anybody can go down if you hit right. If you get hit on the chin right, I don't give a damn who you is. You hit that nerve on the chin, it go numb, you go numb. I understand that, bro. I understand it.
Like, can I
But
get a
when you
rebuttal?
hey,
What's
no,
the
let me say,
success?
bro,
What's the success?
I'm talking about bothering you, bro. Now,
I
you
will
can
get
catch,
to
you
it.
can catch a man on the chin, anybody can go down. But when we looking at Shawn Porter, bro, y'all just making like Shawn Porter don't have no strategy. What is it? There's no method to the madness. Y'all like there's no method to the madness of Shawn Porter. Like he just coming in just rah, just wow. I'm just coming in football style. No, man. Kenny Porter come up with game plans. They working with Barry Hunter now, and Coach Wade Phillips have him in damn great shape. Like I said, so when he get hurt, he jump back quick. So if you think they're not ready for Terence Crawford, bro, and to go in here and fight this motherfucker tooth and nail, you go have another thing coming. I wonder what Chad gonna say. Oh yes, and I wonder what Chad gonna say when Porter get in here and make this shit rough and tough for Shawn.
He gonna win. He gonna win.
Hey, I want to say this one
Like I say,
thing.
when he get in here and make this shit rough and tough for Terence Crawford, because it's going to be rough. It's going to be
Oh my
rough,
God.
bro. Even me having Spence win an 8-4, D, because that's what I had, and I go with anybody and beg the difference. Even with him having an 8-4, he still made the shit rough for Errol ass to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all think Porter, if y'all think Bud fit to go in here and just nullify Shawn Porter, just oh my God, man, look how amazing he did. Now he can outbox him to a 12-round decision, but when you outboxing somebody, you're not knocking them out. You just boxing them, beating them on points. And that's what I feel like Bud is gonna do. He gonna try to fight on some aspects, but he finna go in here and box Shawn Porter, bro. He finna go in here and box Shawn Porter because if he try to go heads up with Shawn Porter and just bang it out like that, he might lose the fight. He might lose the fight, bro.
Can we hold Bud to what he said though? Bud said he was gonna stop him. Spence said he was gonna stop him. Nobody was going back and forth when Spence said he was gonna stop Porter in a rhythm, which I didn't.
Bullshit. I'm calling you
Okay,
bullshit.
all right. Well, okay. You said it, but I didn't hear. I heard everybody getting on board with it.
Hold on, coach, because you can't. What you ain't gonna do, fam, is come up here with. Listen, this what you gotta understand. You are on a channel with a guy that calls this shit straight down the line. I have my peoples on this side and get mad at me. I have my peoples on that side and get mad at me. And this is the truth, fam, because I call it straight down the line. Me, myself, coach, and Monty Brown. Me, myself, and Monty Brown was arguing with our fellow Spence fans. That Spence won't gonna stop fucking Porter. You're on a different type of channel, coach. I know.
Okay.
Hold on,
Okay.
coach, because I need you to understand this, because I've heard you say it multiple times already. I've heard you say what these idiots out here say. You're not amongst that kind of crowd right now. We are real boxing minds over here. So what you idiots out there say, don't even apply or associate that to us, because we actually did argue with people that Spence ain't fucking stopping goddamn Porter. And the same way that all of these motherfuckers just automatically knew that our guy, the one we favor, Spence, was going to stop Porter. We're saying the same thing about Crawford. You guys are the same way.
Okay. All right. Well, I did have a question because he said success, and because I know you cut me off when I said something that you didn't agree with. I was trying to ask him what is the success and what did he mean when these dudes are having success? Because our dudes have success against Spence, dudes have success against Porter. I mean, it's a fight. You gotta get in there with the guy, get hit by the guy, adjust to the guy, find out the range, find out the speed, find out the timing. So when you say having success against Bud, like I hear this, what I do hear a lot. Now, and not on this channel. Just you could correct me if I'm wrong. I hear a lot of guys give credit to guys having success against them, like it's not a fight. Like guys like Spence ain't been in the ring, and guys have had success against him, and he gets over critique from what happens and take place when two people exchange leather in a ring. And but at the end of the outcome of the fight is still decided by who wins and who's the victor and what have you. So I did try to stop him and ask him what do he mean when he's saying guys are having success, which I feel like is, I mean, it's somewhat true to it, but it ain't something to where you can say like guys really run with, oh, he was this happened in a fight, he got hit, he got touched up like he wasn't in a fight, and then they'll say this guy really wasn't good because this guy ain't the top welterweight, but this guy ain't never fought. So if we keeping it straight down the middle, you can't say what a guy is or the level of a fighter if he ain't never fought the other top guys to even compare. And then
Well,
another thing that gets overran back here is how well a guy adjusts to the fighting style of the fighter. So yes, you can critique because they have big names or bigger names in the welterweight division and say, oh, he got to fight this guy or fight that guy at the show. I don't look at boxing like that. I look at styles. I look at matchups. Yes, I know there's levels to the fighters. I'm not gonna act like levels are to where a guy is clearly like off, like clearly is a mismatch. But we're not gonna act like Bud ain't been in the ring with guys that was fully capable of beating him because just like Manny brought up, these guys was having success. So if they was having success, obviously it was challenge enough or game enough to give him a worthy opponent or become a worthy opponent, not be dismissed afterwards because the way in the manner they were beat. And that's what a lot of guys do. So when guys say he ain't fight nobody, he got to fight this one, fight that one. No, I look at the styles. I look at all the matchups. I look at the multiple different styles of fighters he fought coming up from 135 all the way up to 147. And why we have not been able to see those fights. I mean, I'm sure that's up for a discussion too. But he has been able to beat bigger guys, been able to land certain punches up against bigger guys or certain guys in 147. And my last thing with you about the styles and how he changed up, you're
Can I
saying
comment for a little
we're
bit?
fighting a bigger. I'm almost done playing. I swear I'm almost
All
done.
right.
You said that it switches up because he's in there with guys he could get hurt against. Haven't you noticed that he has gotten more aggressive at 147? So maybe that finesse, that skill, that prettiness, like you pointed out, maybe he don't have to use it because he's more effective at getting guys out of there, which he's been stopping guys at 147. Whether we dispute the level, the talent, the name, or whoever it is, the fact of the matter is he's still stopping these guys that are professional welterweights, guys that fought for a living, guys that have had way more fighting experience than all of us put together to sit up there and dismiss the guy afterwards and say, "Oh, he ain't fighting nobody."
Now
yeah.
let me touch
Hold
on
on, Bonnie, hold on real quick. Because Jody, I heard
Yeah.
you, I just heard you that time. But the reason we didn't hear you before, fam, because your mic is crazy low, fam. We could barely hear you talking.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now? I'm gonna say
Yeah,
this
yeah.
real quick. Check this out. This goes to what y'all saying. Was he really top five or whoever? A lot nowadays, boxers are not being forced to fight they mandatory. I can go 100-0, and my ranking is gonna go up. But who am I fighting? That's what it comes down to. And another thing I was gonna say, Porter, he's a seasoned loser. He knows how to lose a fight. He's been seen lose many times. Crawford is a seasoned winner. He's more active. When was Porter last fight? And it's like there's levels to this. It's the same reason when we Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton. He was undefeated. They were saying Ricky Hatton was the man that's going to stop the plan. And guess what happened to Ricky Hatton after Mayweather did what he did to him? It's levels.
Check
You can
hook.
fight. You can fight the left side, the middle, the up, the down. But when you go to the right side, it's going to be a different force. That's why I say Crawford, is a different force that Porter is not ready for.
Now, can I touch on that?
Yeah, this real, yeah, I got you, buddy. This up here, coach, is from, this is the official report. IBT just sent me the link,
I
but
got it. I saw it.
yeah, there
I
you go.
got it. I saw it.
Like, so he was never, you know what I mean? Again, coach, that's what I'm telling you. We just spit shit here for facts, man. We don't come with no bullshit narratives here, all of this hoopla you
Bro,
hear.
you
Man.
can't
We
you
just
can't
come
say
for facts,
everything is
man.
facts though, because I just heard a dude base his argument off of opinions.
No,
Okay,
no, no,
Facts
no.
is these.
I'm talking about the guys who brain. I'm talking about what could be a fact. Look, this is what we gotta understand here. This is what we gotta understand here. Everything, and I got you, Monty. You can read something right now. Everything that we're talking about here, there are a lot of this is opinion based, coach, right? And my only thing is this: everybody, what you saying is we're gonna see what Crawford has, like, as if we don't know. And we're trying to tell you we do know this. What other people don't see is what Spence has. And that's the problem. People see Spence as some limited fighter and what he won't be able to do with Crawford. But as we all know, it's the guy that's going to bring it out of you, right? You have to have that guy that's going to bring it out of you. And if we ask ourselves this question, between these two guys, right? Who has been in the ring with guys that will bring it out of them? Has it been Crawford or has it been Spence? Because Crawford has faced guys that he has been totally superior to, and Spence has faced guys that will bring it out of him.
now I want to touch on this, because they somehow, oh, we basing our things off things of that nature, right? We all basing things off of opinion because we're talking about fights that haven't taken place yet. Now, now we gonna get real about the situation, because Coach want to say I never took credit away from Terence Crawford a day in my life, right? I'm actually one of the cats they're gonna bet for Terence Crawford because of what he done at 147. All right, you got Jeff Horn. You came up to 147 your first fight. You got Jeff Horn. He beat Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people thought he lost to Manny Pacquiao. I saw the fight. I thought Manny Pacquiao won, but nonetheless, I can't call it a robbery because Jeff Horn was in the fight, right? So now, when Jeff Horn had the scrap, everybody wanted him, D. Everybody knew they was gonna beat his ass, bro. And it's a fact. I don't care what nobody say. Jeff Horn wasn't beat no Errol Spence. He wasn't beating no Terence Crawford. He wasn't beating no Danny Garcia, no Shawn Porter, nor fucking Keith Thurman. We all know.
Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, you're right. Keith Thurman was before he went off on his injury. He kept talking about, I want the Jeff Horn fight. I will go to Australia and fight him. Just even with his injury, bro. So miss me with that shit. But I give Bud credit because he went in there his first fight at 147. It was a scrap. He got the WO scrap. Now after that, you face Jose Benavidez, you face Amir Khan, you face Kavalauskas, and you face a motherfucking Kell Brook, bro. Those all those level of competition. If you put in the ring with Shawn Porter, because Shawn he lost to the Kell Brook, the best Kell Brook of the Kell Brook. You understand what I'm saying? If you put that Kell Brook that fought that Terence Crawford in RD, he's not beating Shawn Porter. If you put that Kell Brook in there with Shawn Porter, he's not beating him. Kavalauskas is not beating Shawn Porter. That David Benavidez not beating Shawn Porter. Amir Khan damn should not beat no Shawn Porter. And Jeff Horn is damn should not beat no Shawn Porter. Right? So don't make it like, oh, we trying to take credit away from Bud and these fighters are this, that, and the third. They still not A-level fighters at the end of the day. You dig what I mean? They still not. We all know Amir Khan been knocked out X amount of times. Kell Brook, as much as people want to say it, it wasn't the same Kell Brook that fought Shawn Porter nor the Errol Spence, nor the Triple G. I don't care what nobody say. You dig? But I do give him credit for that shit. And for David Benavidez, we all know he was I watched that fight over. He was touching Terence Crawford. I give him credit. He was touching Terence Crawford. But once the leg went, he couldn't move. Of course, Crawford go nail his motherfucking ass. And anybody else is go nail his ass to a cross. He wouldn't have win 12 rounds with Errol Spence. Let me just say that. He wouldn't have win 12 rounds with Errol Spence, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Since we're arguing opinions, in my opinion. Now, when we look at the fighters that Errol fought, and you looking at, matter of fact, let's just look at the fighters Shawn Porter fought. We stand on Shawn Porter. He's not going to stop everybody on Shawn Porter list. So y'all just stay talking about, oh, Shawn Porter is not going to be ready for Terence Crawford. Y'all got to be crazy. This man is an A-level fighter, in my opinion. This man come in shape every fucking fight. Shawn do not play around with boxing. Shawn is not no mentally weak-ass fighter where you talking about, oh, he's going to be mentally weak once he fatigued mentally. He's not going to fatigue no mentally. When have you ever seen Shawn Porter fatigue mentally? In what fight? Tell me a fight where he fatigued mentally. Every fight I've seen Shawn Porter in, that motherfucker was trying to win from the 1st to the 12th round or the 1st to the 10th round. He never fatigued no mentally in no fight. And in this Terence Crawford fight, which he know it's a title on the line and it's a way for him to get back to fight Errol Spence with another title. Man, he finna put the work in this goddamn fight. He finna go in here and make this shit a fight. Like I say, I still have Bud winning the fight, but he finna make it a fight. And when I say having success, meaning he gonna win some rounds and they going to the scorecards. He's gonna win rounds and they going to the scorecards. And like I said, if Bud sit up there and bang it out with Porter, he might end up losing this fight with somebody like Shawn Porter who get in the inside on your ass and Bud can't get the extension that he need. Try to make that shit a rough and tough fight. You feel me? So if Mean Machine can make it rough and tough for you and put you on the fucking canvas, don't tell me Shawn Porter not fit to go on this fucking
Mean Machine is a whole nother style of fighter. A whole nother style of fighter.
Don't tell me if Mean Machine can go in there and make this shit a rough and tough fight, and he's not a better fighter than Shawn Porter. He haven't faced a better competition than Shawn Porter. Don't tell me Shawn Porter, who's in great fucking shape, that bring it every time, is not fit to go in here and take this shit to Terence Crawford and have a hell of a fight, bro.
Can I rebuttal that right quick? With the Mean Machine?
Let me ask you a question before you rebuttal that. You can answer the question and then rebuttal that. You asked us what happens if Terence Crawford goes in here and knocks out Shawn Porter. What would we say? And both of us answered that completely honestly. We would be fucking shocked. I would be surprised as hell. Now I want to ask you this, Coach. What if Shawn Porter goes in there and takes Crawford to an honest split or majority decision? What would you say, Coach? Because if you think, hold on. Let me finish the context of this question. Because if you say that you willing to just about that money that Crawford's got, if he goes in and takes him to a split or majority decision, what would you say, Coach?
I wouldn't be surprised because actually Porter does have the skill level. And he asked it. I told you, I already said it, and I answered that question. But I wouldn't be surprised. Shawn Porter actually is the level of fighter that on his good day can beat any of these welterweights. I already said that. The things he does do, if a guy can't make the adjustments, that they're gonna either have to commit to a dog fight and follow his tempo and follow his spacing of the fight, or they may lose. I think Keith Thurman experienced that, and I think Errol experienced that. A lot of guys say Errol decided to make it a dogfight. I disagree. I think Errol submitted to a dogfight and realized that what he had going forward wasn't going to work because Derrick James said they went in a game plan to box Shawn Porter. When he realized that jab wasn't going to be effective, he said, fuck it. And he went down, toe a knee, and was banging with Shawn Porter. Okay, that's my opinion. I don't have no facts. I think when I watched a guy, it looked like he did not try to dictate pace or range. He came in to fighting a Shawn Porter fight. What I'm saying to go back to what you said, because I said I wanted to rebuttal. I got my point. Somebody background loud too.
And Mean Machine. I think you wanted to debuttal.
No, okay. Shawn Porter and Mean Machine. You say Mean Machine could give it. What the thing is, I think you leave at the table. Bud Crawford was front foot dominant that whole fight. He walked forward the whole fight. He never really boxed Mean Machine. So he was walking into them little sharp punches Mean Machine was throwing with his decent hand speed. He had showed that he had heavy hands. I thought he was heavy handed, whether you agree with it or not. But if you bring in that style and you bring in that fight as a fighter, you're going to leave yourself more open to certain things. And what Mean Machine showed me was he was better than what a lot of people thought he was for that fighter style that Crawford fought him. I thought Crawford could have fought on the back foot and obviously outboxed him and probably had much more success or looked it cleaner or looked it prettier doing it, similar to what Spence did Mikey. Just in a comparison, so you can understand what I'm saying. But instead, if you go back and watch the fight, Crawford went forward the whole entire fight, and he walked into a lot of shit that I personally would have told him, what are you doing in the corner? Like, what's the game plan? Like, what we doing in here? Like, you taking more than what you need to. Set up your jab, set up the range, and box the dude, and then go for the kill. But Terence Crawford is the pro. I'm a trainer that wish I can ever get to the stage to tell a fighter that. But
All right, now let me say this.
when
Now,
I
let me say
no,
Hold
hold
on.
on, I'm almost finished. I'm
Let me get this
almost
super chat.
finished. I'm
All right,
almost finished.
hold on, Jay.
Okay,
Hold on for a second. I'll let you continue. Let me catch these super chats, man. I want to catch the
okay.
people that contribute to the channel. First off, Ronald Finkley contributed with the super sticker. Appreciate you, Ronald Finkley, for the contribution. Rod Nell, super chat, he said, Shawn Porter is Crawford's mandatory. Crawford just had a live saying he is waiting on Porter to activate the mandatory to fight. But Porter isn't quick to. Okay, so we'll see what happens out of that. That means that fight could potentially materialize. Appreciate you, Ronald and Rodnell, for the contribution to the Speaking About Sports Talk family. All right, Coach, go ahead.
Okay, I'm glad you said that brought up. You said something the other caller said, the dude from St. Louis. You said that Crawford has always been hesitant to fight Porter. In the past, from what my understanding was and what was brought out to me, Bud had a fight. He was trying to negotiate with Pacquiao when Porter said, "Hey, well, can we get this fight?" And he told him, "Nah, I'm working on something," and what have you. I don't know if that's what you took, but according to what was reported, he actually had a fight that fell through. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
But I just want to say this, D. I just want to say this because I hate
get the super chat real quick, Monty. Then you can jump in.
Go ahead. I just want
to back again with the next super chat. He says, "Sounds good, Shawn versus Terence." It sounds excellent to me, Ronald. Appreciate you, brother.
Now this is what I was saying. Bob Arm came out and said he wanted Shawn
Porter. Go right after Monty. Go ahead, Bob.
He came in and said he wanted Shawn Porter versus Terence Bud Crawford, but Bud didn't want to sign the contract. This out of Bob Arm mouth. This not out of Monty Brown mouth. I don't just make this shit up, right? But I just want to say this real fast, and then they can jump back. You see, this the difference between people, D, right? They'll say that Errol Spence didn't go forward against Shawn Porter, which we seen Errol Spence go forward, right? We seen him go forward. Go look at the fight. But when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford and Mean Machine, Bud went forward the whole fight. It wasn't nothing. It didn't have nothing to do with Mean Machine. It was Bud going forward to fight, and that's why he got hit, and that's why he got dropped. But we say the reason why Errol Spence fought Shawn Porter the way he fought him is because he went forward. Oh no, y'all want to say it's because he went forward? No, he was forced to fight that fight. And we can say that Mean Machine forced Terence Bud Crawford to fight that fight as well. Then, so don't try to have it one way and then have it another one. Because to me, Errol Spence went forward on Shawn Porter. To knock a man out, you have to go forward on him and fight him. And Errol Spence was trying to knock that man out, bro. He was trying to knock him out. Just like Bud Crawford was trying to knock out Mean Machine. He went forward because he wanted to knock him out. It ain't because, his jab couldn't work. Because if Errol Spence wanted to box Shawn Porter, he could have boxed Shawn Porter. He could have boxed, but Porter was coming forward. Just like Bud could have boxed Mean Machine. So don't try to have it one way and then say it another, bro. No, it ain't gonna work like that. It don't work like that.
Right, and the other guy did. One guy tried, the other guy did, just to correct you.
Coach, Brian, jump in.
The level of competition was totally different as well. The level of competition.
I hear you. I hear you. I say facts, you say the opinion.
Guys, let Brian jump in. And then, come on, go ahead, Brian.
Far as I'm aware of why the Shawn Porter Bud Crawford fight never happened was, I don't know which guy said it. I think they both said it, that they wouldn't fight each other because they're friends in the past. I believe that's come up before. I think it was Shawn Porter said, "I won't fight Bud because he's my friend."
They both
and
said
they both. But that's when Shawn Porter had a belt. Now that he doesn't have a belt and he's the #1 mandatory, he's willing to fight him. So we had to keep that there in mind too. They are friends, and that's the reason it hasn't happened before now. Also, the fact I believe of this fight does happen. This is great, and I'm happy to see. The PBC, and I'm happy to see Bob Arms. Forget the name. Crossing the stream to fight each other.
Right.
and that there could set up an easier Bud Crawford Errol Spence Jr. fight in the future. So if this fight happens, that's just great because it showed that these two promotions can do business together.
Yeah.
And,
hey, right now they don't have to force Porter to go after Crawford. The WBO did that, fam. When they made it mandatory.
The answer that because how was he trying to fight Errol when Bob said that when Errol and Danny was already locked in for a fight? So miss me where he was trying to fight Spence. Yeah. They was already locked in for a fight, and Bud didn't have a fight when Bob was trying to get him to fight Porter. So that's dead in the water, sir.
Errol and Spence agreed to fight. Errol and Spence on January 25th before the accident. January 25th before the accident. Errol Spence, I put a video up about this, and Danny Garcia agreed in principle to fight each other. Then, so that was prior to Porter and Granados. So you guys do. So I mean, it is what it is, man. Y'all guys gotta follow the timelines, man, because motherfuckers be getting the time. I don't know. I know, Monty. I know you see this shit all the time too. Like, get the timelines all mixed up, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely get the timelines mixed up. But what I'm saying, they both have said that in the past that they were friends, and that's the reason why this fight hasn't materialized before now. But the fact that this fight is going to happen, I'm excited because I think this is the toughest test of Bud Crawford at 147 and at 140 and 135. I think this is the toughest test of his career. This is the best fighter he's been in the ring with. Errol, Jesus Christ!
You can call you right back, man.
Oh my God!
Oh,
I can't believe it.
Can I?
Hold on.
Hey, I don't.
Hold on, real quick, Coach. Let me read this comment. Right now says because it's actually now I always go at Bob for this type of shit. So I think that there's actually could be some truth to this. But right now says money that contract shit is a lie. Hold on. Let me say this. The lie part is what I don't agree with. I'm not no money to be making up lies. But what I will say right now is this. Bob wanted Crawford to offer Porter to fight instead of Spence. Now, with that part of your comment, bro, it could be some validity to that because I always say this about Bob Arum. The shit got to make sense financially for him to make money. Crawford and Spence is going to cost Bob Arum and Al Heyman a lot of money to put that fight together. Porter versus Crawford is a lot cheaper. So I can see Bob on some bullshit like this, and then pointing the finger at the PBC for holding up the Terence Crawford and Spence fight, because that's the type of shit Bob does.
Yeah. And since that man called me a liar, bro, we listen to Bob on Blue Blood and on Fred all the fucking time. He just came out and said now that he want to offer $1 million to Shawn Porter if he wants the fight to happen. First of all, I'm not gonna come up here and put words in no man mouth. So don't say I lied about nothing, partner. That ain't even my ammo. I use receipts on every. Whenever somebody say something, I bring up something. I make sure I put them out there saying what the fuck they said. So you can't say that Monty Brown is lying on somebody. So don't never say, "Oh, Monty Brown, you lying," because that's something that I'm not gonna do, champ. It's something that I'm not gonna do. Now I was gonna do the research for you, but you do the research yourself since Monty is a liar, bro. Since I'm a liar,
I won't call you a liar, but I will call you. I will say you just say you use facts and listen to when I say opinion so you can understand what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it is perspective. When we hear negotiations, none of us are in the ballroom or the meeting room. We take away what we take away from it. Some of our bias carry over into what we conclude or what we foresee from it or what happens. But when I say I listen to your back and forth, you base a lot of stuff off opinion, meaning stuff that never happens. And listen to what I'm saying. All this is opinion. Understand the difference, though. When I add my opinion, I actually add logic and factual things that happen. Like an example, you said Errol went forward and tried to knock a guy out, and then you say Bud was trying to knock a guy out. I said, well, hold on, no. You can't say Bud tried because Bud actually did knock a guy out. Errol didn't knock the guy out, and then you gave. And hold on, don't cut me off. You asked me not to cut you off. You asked me not to cut me off, player. Don't cut me off.
Go ahead.
Hey, you said tried and what have you. And I'm listening to the same. I said, well, actually, factually, one guy tried and then the other one get, and then you switch the then you backdoor the debate of what you just said to stand on it, which was another opinion. You say, oh, it's the level of guys that was fighting. So one guy was having success against a guy and forced them into a fight, like you tried to prove to argue the debate that I brought up earlier with Spence and Shawn Porter and what have you. And then you switch it around and say, oh, then a guy your point you brought up, I forgot, you said one
I
guy
said
tried.
the level was different.
Oh, the level. Okay, and that's nothing. Look, there's no way of proving that until one to Green Machine, Kavalauskas, he lost to Crawford. Get in the ring with another top guy or a top guy you consider, and then we can determine where his value is. Because Green Machine haven't lost since he fought Crawford, and if he fought one of those top guys, if he fought one of the top guys and they had a close fight or he beats a guy, it's going to discredit what you said about his opposition. So
Now,
that's my point when I say you hold your opinions.
that's your opinion. Now,
Hold on. I know you want to go back. You got it. Listen, Jay, this is going to be real quick, and I'm going to let Monty jump in right behind that. Henry Lundy, Terence Crawford. This is somebody prior.
You say Hank Lundy?
Damn right I said Hank Lundy.
Okay.
Now hear me out, because I know fights too, my friend. I do this. This is what I do. That's my claim to fame. What happens in that ring? Okay. Now, Hank Lundy, who was a lesser opponent, forced Crawford into firefight. So we're not going to sit here and act like Terence Crawford cannot be forced into a firefight. And then when you talk about the Kavalauskas fight, Adidas Kavalauskas fight, the thing is, you even said yourself, Coach, that you would have preferred to see Crawford box, right? But what I told you before, when Crawford gets hit with certain shots, it doesn't matter what you want. That man's mind says fight. We got to keep that in mind. Yes, he has the skills. Yes, he has the mental. But that's just another example for you of when he is supposed to do something, which is what you would prefer to see him do. He fights instead. And
just because I prefer don't mean supposed to.
None of them are perfect. Go ahead, Monty.
Now, he say that I mean, what I said was contradicting, right? So I said, in order to knock somebody out, I said you have to go forward. If you go try to knock somebody out, you have to go forward to knock them out. I said you're not gonna be able to knock them in boxing. All right, come on, bro, stop it. You got to go forward to knock somebody out, right?
No, you don't. No, you don't. That shows your level of boxing, player.
Shut up, bro. Just shut the fuck up when you talk. All right, now, to knock somebody out, right? You have to go forward. You feel me? Now, Errol Spence, man, they won't stop calling me. And this is actually Bo Mac's son right here, bro. Trying to call me, but I'm gonna catch him later. Now, check this out. Errol Spence went forward to try to knock out Shawn Porter, right? And then Bud went forward to try to knock out motherfucking Main Machine, right? Yes, Bud knocked him out. And then when I said you try to come back and say, oh, one did, one didn't. Of course we know he knocked out Kavalauskas, but the fucking level of competition was different. If you ask anybody who's the better fighter between the Mean Machine and the Shawn Porter, do a fucking poll, it would be 100% Shawn Porter. Who has the best resume? Who fought the better competition? Who was the two-time world champion? That motherfucker never even won the title. You talking about, oh, no, it's not. So who's really contradicting each other? Who's trying to show make the narrative fit them for their side of the story? Because if you sit up here and talk about Shawn Porter is not a better fighter than fucking Kavalauskas, you got to be out your goddamn mind, man. In the professional ranking, you got to be out your goddamn mind because Kavalauskas was never a champion. Shawn Porter is a two-time fucking champion. You understand? Facing the top competition. And yes, Errol Spence could knock him out, in my opinion, because the level of competition was different. If you switch it around, I got Errol Spence knocking Kavalauskas the fuck out, and I don't see Bud knocking out no Shawn Porter. Period, point blank, bro.
Here, can I say something?
No, yeah, let Coach respond, Brian. And wait, did you talk, Brian, or did they? No, you went in, but let Coach respond.
I think it was my turn. I was gonna be real quick.
All right, go ahead, Breeze. Let Coach
I'm hearing both sides, man. But my whole thing about this, Porter ain't about to grab no title no time soon. If he takes this L, which I predict, what is next for him? I could easily say what's next for Crawford, but really, come on now, what is next for this man if he takes this L? Back to the chair, announce and do his little thing, but who is he gonna call out next? Because he's eager to jump in the ring with people, but he's not producing any new outcomes. I haven't just seen Porter evolve. Like, I'm seeing this same element that he does in every fight. He comes up short, So
Yeah,
it's the point in time when them gloves got to hit that rack. Be like, you know what? I'm just leave it like that. EJ, you know what I'm saying? Crawford, y'all do y'all thing. Y'all make the big show that everybody want to see. Cause I just look at it like he in the way right now. That's
yeah.
my whole opinion about
All right, go ahead, Brian.
Okay, what Shawn Porter does is he gives everyone he steps in the ring with a tough night. So in that way, Shawn Porter will be a valuable opponent for a lot of these guys. On the come up, a lot of these champions, a lot of these top contenders. He will give them a tough night's work, and he is the gatekeeper of the welterweight division. I think to be in contention, I do think you do have to beat a Shawn Porter. I think to prove how good you are, you do have to go through that test because he is the one guy in that division. Every single time he steps in the ring, he's going to give it his all. He, you know, he'll give you different looks. He's awkward. His timing, his rhythm. He's got plenty of heart, determination, and will. He may come up short in a lot of these big fights, but nobody can say they get an easy night with Shawn Porter. Not too many anyway. Has he's consistent. He's consistent. In that way where people know if they step in the ring with Shawn Porter, they're in for a tough night. That's how I see Shawn Porter, right? A jack of all trades, a master of none. He's just one of them good fighters, a tough guy, and he's just one of them honest, hardworking fighters, who probably doesn't get the credit he deserves. And I will
And
say
I
that there. And I do like the fact. Sorry, I do like the fact that maybe we're seeing this fight happen with Bud and Shawn because it is the toughest fight of his. To me, it is the toughest fight of his career. Uh, uh, Bud Crawford is the toughest fight of his career. It is a great test, and it shows you if he is ready for an Errol Spence Jr. Because if he does, if he does what coach says he's able to do to him, we would stand up here and we'd be shocked, right? But most people, I'm a Sean, or I'm a Bud Crawford fan, right? I love Bud. I think he's a great boxer. I like Errol Spence Jr. too. I try to keep it as honest as I can, right? But I'm expecting a tough fight. That's how I see it going. I'm expecting a tough fight, and it should be. This Once you get to this level, there should be no easy fights. That's how I see boxing. Once you get to a certain level, there should be no easy fights, unless you're just clearly superior than the rest of the competition. But that's how it should be. That tells you the level of competition. This guy's been in the ring with everyone. He's not took the challenge. I'm on about Shawn Porter. Even though he may come up short, he is a tough, tough guy. He's a great fighter, and he will give any one of these. He's given every single one of these guys a tough night's work, and I expect the same with Bud.
yo,
Go
look,
ahead, coach. Go ahead, coach.
yeah, all right. The guy that talked before you, who's the guy that was talking before IBT?
JB's he left out. No, IBT's
Okay,
on the other JB's he
okay.
left out.
I wanted to. He said Porter in the way. I do agree with that, but in one way, one of them said Porter's in the way, and kind of like he always come up short, and then the other guys are saying it's gonna be a tough challenge. Excuse me, like y'all gonna be surprised. I'm not. The only surprise I would be if Bud lost to Shawn Porter, and what have you. And I think some of y'all may be, but I'd definitely be surprised. Like Shawn Porter's not beating Terence Crawford. It's
I
like
agree with
y'all think Terence Crawford has to prove himself against this. He's been in there with lesser guys. My base of my argument is that's the guys that was in the ring and was willing to fight him. We're not gonna act like they've been this war going back and forth with this cross the street stuff that prevented some of these fights from happening. So we could have been determined this. If y'all need a Shawn Porter to step in the way, which will get stopped, so I can take money, the dude who has like I'm not even discredit his argument. Like the dude just basically he's just a bigger Spence fan and he just don't know how to admit it, what have you. But when I'll be back to tell you I told you so because Porter is perfect and tailor-made for what if y'all still need a Shawn Porter, a guy who took 3 L's, a master of many traits but good at nothing, could get in the ring with a Crawford and not only get his ass whooped and get loose, but he will stop. And I'm gonna hold Crawford to what he said. I'm gonna hold Porter to what he said. Porter said the Crawford fight is more intriguing. I'm looking forward to that fight. He won't go ahead. Bud said, sign the paperwork so I can stop you. Bud been stopping all the welterweights. I'm gonna hold him to that standard because that's what he's been doing.
Well, I tell you like this, fam. Um, I hear you, and I know you confident in your picks and what have you, but you new here. You new here, which you admitted to. One thing you gonna find out, coach, a whole lot of people around this fucking community already know when it comes to me, fam. Dog, I predict these fights damn near second to none, fam. Like I send gamblers fucking advice every fucking weekend on picks. They call me for their picks. I send them picks to them so that they can gamble. I don't gamble, but this is what I do, fam. So I feel you. You got your opinion. I got mine. I don't see the stoppage. I don't see it, and you can feel high confident on that and everything else. That's fine, but when you get a guy with the physicality that Porter has and the things he has to offer. I'm not even going to dig into this because we all have our different opinion. And you look at the guys that Crawford has fought, 147. Hell, even if you want to, oh my bad, Jake, Jody. Even if you want to go back down to different weight classes, Crawford, man, you got to be able to get in there. We have seen this over and over and over again throughout the history of boxing. Forget about this new age era shit. Throughout the history of boxing, we have seen it over and over and over again. These guys dominate and look very terrific against guys who are levels below them. And no matter what we want to sit here and talk about, how impressive Crawford was at 147, which he has been extremely impressive, everybody he has fought are levels below him. And that's a fact, fam. Levels below him. And these guys are not. Porter's not. Porter may be a level below him, and that's where we stop. 8 levels below him. And when you get up there and you fight guys that offer more, you don't look as impressive. You don't stop these guys as easily. They're not going to allow you to just come in there and have your way. They're not going to allow you to beat them like a goddamn punching bag like Jeff Horn did because you can't box or defend yourself. It was a mercy stopping. The referee, it was a mercy stopping. He waved it like, okay, this is enough. He's just getting punched, and that's enough. That's what it was, a mercy stopping, because Crawford's levels above Jeff Holm. Okay? And so when you get in there where that level moves closer, and the guy's more physical, and the guy's stronger, and the guy can explode, and the guy has a fucking head that's as hard as the goddamn cement, you're going to see some different things. I mean, it's just that simple. Mark Ashley with the super chat. Appreciate you. No comparisons to Mayweather who fought McGregor, fighter, no boxing experience to reach 50-0, and now is fighting a YouTuber his 0-1. Yeah, that fight, Mark, is absolutely ridiculous, bro.
Yo, how many knockdowns count? Okay, cause me, I'm smart enough to know. I'm smart enough to know that fights can go different ways, and a knockout may come.
He cut off. Like when he comes back, like ain't nobody here saying that Porter's gonna win. I don't think nobody said that. So whenever coach get back, I don't
I
think
don't think it is.
the
Yo,
argument is that
yo,
are you back? Yeah, you have
yeah. I
somebody.
don't know what's going on. If I'm on my phone, if the screen is not on, do it cut me off or something? Like you know?
No, I don't know.
It
Maybe
could be
because
the
you're
data
driving or
wherever you
something,
at.
you're going through a dead zone or some shit.
Okay. No, I had all my bars because I'm in Dallas. I stay in Dallas, man. I'm
All right,
originally from New Orleans, but I stay in Dallas.
all right.
I didn't been in the I didn't actually been in the ring, been in the gym with Spence and seen him firsthand. So I think I do talk what I do know. But nah, man. Like, what are we talking? Knockdowns? Like what is a dominant? Okay, if Bud don't stop Porter, but knocks him down a few times, what is that to you?
Yeah, when you fell off, this was the thing. Ain't nobody talking about Porter beating Crawford. That's not even in the discussion. The discussion is Crawford going in there and knocking Porter out. That's more of the discussion. We don't see it. Now you see it, we don't see it. I see it as highly unlikely, but possible. Again, highly unlikely,
Hmm.
but possible. Where I think you see it possible and highly unlikely he doesn't.
I know it can happen. I know it can't.
So that's where we are. As far as Crawford, Porter beating Crawford, again, fam. I don't know about uh, Jody
Yeah,
Breeze, but
yeah,
this is what.
basically. Yeah, I
Hold on,
agree with you.
hold on, whoever that is, hold on for a second.
Yeah.
I don't know about Jody Breeze, but I will say this: I know for a fact that Brian Harkin, Monty Brown TV, and myself, we like and respect Crawford. So that's just how I.
Uh,
So it's no Crawford hate or nothing like that. Only reason I don't know about Jody because I'm just meeting him today. But I already know that my dude Monty like Crawford. I know Brian is a Crawford fucking fan.
I just
I'm a
hey, I just got
fanboy.
off the phone. I just got to talking to Brian. I just got to talking to Andrew McIntyre, man. I'm gonna shoot you a little information that he just shot me. But hell yeah, man. That's why I say we connected, bro. Where people be thinking and talking what they don't be knowing, man. They don't be
Yeah, we
knowing.
talk to fighters and coaches and shit like that, fam. Like we
Hey, I
talk.
mean, just because you connected don't mean you know what you're talking about. But I feel you,
Hey,
bro. I
Bro,
hear
I'm
you.
not, I'm
hey,
not
Yeah,
even
hey,
talking about you, bro.
hey,
I'm not even
hold on,
talking about
Monty. Hold on, Coach. That's a true statement. That is 100% a true statement. Just because you connected don't mean you know what you're talking about. But we know what the fuck we talking about, and we're connected. So
you.
that
Yeah,
means
I'm not even
understand.
I
talking
got
about
it.
you,
I
bro.
got to
We
hear
know,
better from Monty. I got to hear better from Monty because Monty haven't said anything that lets me know he knows what he's talking about, other than the
no.
fact that he got off the phone with Brian McIntyre's son.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
matter, man.
I will say this, bro. He knows about this damn sport of boxing very well. I will say that. Okay,
It don't
I'll
even,
vouch.
it don't even
Shout
matter,
out to him.
bro. It don't even
Today
matter.
must
Like I say,
today must ain't been his day then, because I
every
mean I'm still
Exactly.
waiting
shit,
for it. Today must been his day.
shit, you got to be out your mind because I know what I said was
Hey,
right on.
well, look, hold on, fuck that, fuck all that, Coach. Let me tell you something about Monty Brown here, dog. Now he got a channel, many more subscribers than my own, and I've been over to his panel to debate. Nigga, you can go over there and get that work, fam. Because you talking a little breezy.
Any
Okay,
day.
I'm getting to work. Hey, I'm getting to work right now. I'm getting to work right now. Like that's what
I
I
didn't
do.
already
I
know.
talk breezy. I talk breezy.
I know.
That
I
comes
just
along with the
already know,
territory.
man.
Yeah, but
Hey,
Well,
I like the back and forth. I like the back and forth. It comes along with the territory. But Monty
yeah,
Brown, I mean, he can have his own channel. Today must ain't been his day though.
you
I
get
mean,
your
I hear
ass,
the same.
you get your ass.
Hey,
You can
I
make
hear you. I hear you.
hey, I know.
A self-proclaimed. That's a self-proclaimed win. But I hear you. You regurgitating the same shit everybody else
Hey,
regurgitating.
you
You
can
regurgitating shit.
make it sound good, coach. But the only thing you said today was, "Oh, he's going to knock him out. Oh, he's going to
You
knock
know
him
what?
out."
hey,
Hey,
And like
Coach.
you
You
said,
know what?
you and
Hey,
You know
when
what
the
this
knock.
Hey, Bonnie and Coach. I know what this sound like. This sound like a future date. Coach
yeah,
hey,
J
check
Mack
this out.
versus Monty Brown TV.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Check this out,
God.
y'all.
That sound like I wanna sit in on that. I
Man,
want
I
to
We,
really
would.
be on
Hey,
the panel.
we can put
the dude. Hey, you gotta get your level up, man.
we
Get
can
your
put that
skill
money.
level up
Hey,
and use your opinions.
we'll put
Stop
that.
using
Hey,
your
this is
opinions
my
to
thing, man.
debate
Coach,
with.
Check this
I'm
out,
coach,
not.
man.
Hey, player. I'm not
first
going
of all,
nowhere.
first of all,
I'm not
coach,
going nowhere.
what have you said that was an opinion that was a fact?
No, listen. I
No,
use
no, no,
facts.
no,
If you
no, no,
hold
no, no,
on,
no, no, no.
I have said
Wait
multiple
a minute.
things.
Wait a minute.
I have said
What have you
the
said?
only thing. The only thing I was wrong about Jeff Horn being ranked in the top 5. That's the only thing I was
No,
wrong about today.
no. So you saying Terence Boy Crawford gonna knock out Shawn Porter is a fact, right? So you
I
saying
gave up a.
wait a minute, wait a
No,
minute.
no,
You
no.
saying
That's
hold
not
on,
an
hold on,
opinion.
I
No,
ain't
that's
finished.
not.
I
You
ain't finished.
walking me to
I
a
ain't finished. I'm
suicide.
not finished. I'm not
You
finished.
walking me to a
You
suicide.
saying Shawn Porter is not a better You saying Shawn Porter is not a better fighter than Kavaliauskas is a fact, right? Right? Come on
You
now,
cut out.
don't
I
play
couldn't hear
these
you, bro.
semantics, bro.
No,
Hey,
you cut out.
hey,
You cut
hey,
out.
I
I
took
couldn't
the
hear you for real.
Bluetooth
I
off
couldn't hear
real
you.
quick. Took the Bluetooth
I
out.
couldn't hear
Y'all can
you.
hear
Can
me
you
better?
repeat it, please? Can you
Yeah,
repeat it?
we can hear you.
All
I
right.
couldn't hear you, man.
Yeah, I can
I couldn't
repeat
hear
it.
your question.
First of all, you said Shawn Porter is not a better fighter than Kavaliauskas, so is that a fact?
No, I didn't say that. Now you put words in my
No,
mouth.
you did. Hold on, wait a
No,
minute. Not putting words in your
you.
mouth. When I said the competition was better, you said the competition wasn't better. How do we know that? That's your opinion. You said it was
No, I said you downplay. You downplay.
we
All
can
right, now you're telling me. Now
no,
you're telling me what I
you
said
said,
when I'm
you
trying to
said
tell you what I meant.
I remember what you said.
You
You said
misunderstood. No, but you misunderstood
so
it. Now you having a conversation with yourself. You're having a conversation with yourself, player.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
can tell you what I meant. I can tell you what I meant, but you keep telling me what I said.
now you meant something different. Now you want to switch it up.
Now, okay, what are we doing here? When you
Look,
said
look.
you were
Let me ask y'all
discrediting
this.
you.
Hold on, Coach. Let me ask both of y'all something right quick.
God
I
damn,
want to
man.
ask both of y'all an honest question, both of y'all. Do y'all think anybody heard half the shit y'all was just saying?
Nah.
I know he
I
heard
heard a couple things.
He talking to
I heard
himself.
two things out of whole thing just now.
Hold on, Jay. Let me tell you why the people in the chat didn't hear this shit, motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell both of y'all. Because y'all was screaming over each other. I was just sitting here laughing.
I'm not screaming.
Man,
I talk loud.
y'all gotta talk one at a time. Y'all can hear each other yelling.
I just
We can't hear y'all. We can't
Let
hear
him
y'all.
I
say.
just thought I was deaf.
Hey, I want y'all to finish this because this is good. This is real good. I
Hey,
ain't gonna lie. Y'all got some good points, both of y'all.
What I was saying to him was he's telling me what I said or what he understood. I can give you what I meant. See, you're trying to discredit me and say, now I gotta tell you what I meant. Obviously, you took me wrong. You said that I said you can't prove that. That's your opinion that Shawn Porter beats Kavaliauskas. They never fought. So how can we prove that? And how can you say that? You're basing it off of Shawn Porter being a bigger name or who he been in the ring with. But Kavaliauskas and Shawn Porter never fought each other. He never fought Danny. He never fought Errol. He never fought any of these guys for you to say that he's just a better that he beats him, because you were saying that the guy beats him. I'm like, well, how can you base that on the fact of your opinion and they never fought? That's what I was arguing. That's what I meant. I didn't say who was the better fight.
Well,
Yo, IBT
Hold on. Let Ronnie respond to that.
This is exactly what he said. Now he trying to say I said that he beats him. Nope. I said when we was talking about Errol Spence knocking out Shawn Porter. Nah, I just hold on, stop that, man. Now, when we was talking about Errol Spence knocking out Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford knocking out Kavaliauskas, right? I said for you to knock somebody out, you have to go forward to knock them out. And then you came back and said, but Manny, Porter knocked out Kavaliauskas. And I said yes. And Errol didn't knock out Porter because he was the better competition. He was a better fighter than Kavaliauskas, right? And I said if you put Kavaliauskas in the ring with Errol Spence, I feel like Errol Spence knock out Kavaliauskas and Terence Crawford don't knock out Shawn Porter. The same shit I'm saying now. And you said, oh, you want to switch it up and say, oh, he's this, he's that. But that's your opinion. And I said, how the fuck is it an opinion? And when I asked you, is Kavaliauskas a better fighter than Porter? You said no. You said it was an opinion. And I said now, when we got Shawn Porter, and it's a fact that he's a two-time world champion, Kavaliauskas was never a world champion. Kavaliauskas' resume don't compare to fucking Shawn Porter resume. So how come Shawn Porter is not a better? He's not on a different level than the Kavaliauskas. How is he not the better fighter? You see what I'm saying? How is Shawn Porter not the better fighter? And you can't rebuttal shit with that.
Well, I'm gonna say a win is a win. Either he knock him out or not, he gonna win.
Yeah,
that's final right there.
All right, hold on, guys. I wanna get ready to get some final thoughts off you guys. That shit, man, like I ain't even gonna lie. The reason I sat back and start listening and laughing, because even the chat was saying that y'all guys' debate was fire. I ain't even gonna lie, the shit was good. Like I usually jump in between and do all of that shit. That's why I didn't even want Brian to jump in between, because the shit was fire. I think y'all need to have a to be continued and like pick this shit up again. And I swear, Money,
I'll dust him off next time, but stop making up stuff I'm saying. I'll dust him off next time.
D,
You might have to dust them off next time, but they won't go dust this time, fam.
he
Like,
never, he never,
It's one sided. Look, the
no,
dude is arguing stuff what I'm saying.
he never ran
I
into.
didn't pick a winner. Hold on, Monty. Hold on, Monty. Hold on,
That's what it
Monty.
is.
Coach, I didn't pick a winner. What I just said is you might have to dust them off next time because that was a fire debate. I never said
That's
who
what
won
I
or lost.
said. I dust him off next. I said I would dust him off next
Man,
time.
only thing
This
you're
dude,
dusting off is some boots, because you ain't damn.
hey, hey, I hear you. You the one that's changing up your arguments. You don't even remember what you said.
Man, I remember
You don't
everything.
even remember.
I
know.
Before I catch some final thoughts from you guys, I want y'all
I'm
to
gonna get
listen.
my final thoughts after you finish. Can I get my final thoughts right now so I could dip out and hang up these clothes real quick?
Can I go
Yeah,
first?
well,
Since I'm new?
hold on, Jay.
Can I
Hold on,
go
Jay.
first
Hold
since
on,
I'm
Jay.
new?
Hold on, Jay. I want y'all to hear this right quick. IBT said, guys, you are allowed to use your opinion when it comes to analysis, right? Or preferences or observation. Opinion does not equate to bad. Facts should only be applied when they are applicable. Isn't it not? Look, this is how I responded because all of this matters in these debates. Exactly, IBT. The arguments in general are opinion based, and we have to use facts to validate our opinion. It's a situation where debates are literally based on opinion. That's what they are. So people could say, "Oh, this facts, facts, facts," but guys, what we're doing here is literally based on opinion, and it's just that's why it's so entertaining. So, final thoughts, Jody. Give me some final thoughts, man. Oh shit! All right, go ahead.
All right, look, check this out. I don't see Bud knocking out Porter. I don't see Bud knocking out EJ. The fighters it's gonna be a close fight. You don't see top guys knocking each other out no more. Everybody wants to throw a grenade, but they don't want to stay in the midst of a battle to catch another grenade coming back towards them. That's what I'm saying. That's my final thoughts. There's gonna be a win for Crawford regardless, but he's not going to get the knockout.
Okay, respect. Appreciate you coming through, fam. You're always welcome. Just know it's a jungle up here, fam. You can see it's a jungle up here now.
Can I go next?
Yeah. Coach J Mac 504 in the building. Let me get some final thoughts, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can, some people are blind and it got to be, you got to lead them to the water because they can't see just clear. I mean, but maybe you may have to be seen. Like maybe Porter is the dude that can show you that they got levels to this. Like you spoke on levels with fighters. See, the difference for me is I believe Bud is at that level already. And you're right. This show it and you're basing stuff off of opinions, but everything cannot be opinionated when you're arguing something. Something gotta have some meat and grits to it. Something gotta have some substance. Like when you're saying this guy beats this guy, well, if those guys fight, you can use that. What you call them? But if you keep saying stuff, I'm like, okay, well, damn, them two fighters didn't fight. But damn, you can debunk a lot of things when you're saying a lot of stuff. That's when you argue and debating, something got to have some substance. And what I was saying about his debate in style is everything is regurgitated. It's stuff I didn't heard over and over, and it didn't have no substance to it. Meaning, he could not prove any of it or most of it. Some of the stuff I agree with him, but if you're saying this guy lose to this guy, well, I say, damn, I don't on box rec, I don't see that them two fought. Okay, if you keep saying and making comparison like that, at some point I'm like, well, damn, how can you come to this logic if you don't have the something to support it? It's just based off your opinion. So if I'm gonna be arguing, debating with somebody, because we can never agree or get down to the bottom if we have opinions and keep arguing opinions. At some point, you got to bring some type of facts to it. Shout out to this channel, it's new and what have you. Monty Brown, whatever you are, like, dude, you not levels where you think you are. You outdated. You arguing the same stuff we've been arguing for 4 years. So like I would gladly come here and get the platform, let me and you go back and forth, and I'm gonna tell you a lie. And this time we're gonna have somebody record what was said so you can't come back and switch it around and say I said this, and then when I try to tell you I didn't say it, now you want to say I said it, and then we going back and forth. I would love to come back and dust you up on your platform or this platform, whatever you like, however you want to. And when Bud knocks out Porter, I'm gonna say I told you so. That's it.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you coming through, Coach. You're always welcome. But I'm gonna tell you this, Coach. I like your gusto, but I done seen one of your debates before, And what you just said, exactly what you just said, like recalling what people said, man, you got the wrong one for that, because that's the
You
type of
already know.
debate. Look,
You
man,
already
I
know.
already know. Look, Brian, give me some closing thoughts, man. This is gonna be Monty. You gotta let me know when you set that up, fam. I got to be there for
Facts.
that.
Facts.
You on mute, Brian? You on mute, fam?
All right, sorry. Basically, how I say it, right? I'm a Bud fan. Love Bud Crawford, right? Love Shawn Porter. Love Errol Spence Jr. Right? Pretty much love boxing. So we get that. I'm just happy that we're very close to seeing Crawford versus Shawn Porter. That's basically where I am with that, right? Analysis will come on that fight. People already have their mind made up. I think Bud wins. I don't see a stoppage. I see a tough fight, maybe 7-5 or 8-4. I could even see a 9-3 if Bud's game's on right. But I see Bud winning. So I don't think the argument here was would Bud beat Shawn Porter. I think we all agree that Bud will beat Shawn. The argument is will he stop him? That's the argument. And that's debatable because Shawn Porter, as we said, he is a tough guy. He's a dog. Shawn, Bud Crawford has boxing skills, everything we could think of. Lovely to watch. Great power, great timing, throws off rhythm. Great foot movement, great foot placement. He can throw shots off odd angles. Great combination, great placement on shots, great head movement. So I love what Bud does in the ring, right? And yeah, you are right. When he gets hit, he has that macho come in, and I'm going to show you. He has that, and against better opponents, that could come back to haunt him. But if he can get his head screwed on, and he get over that, he's such a great technical fighter. But it's this next step up. That's what we want to see. We want to see him step up. That's where we are. That's, as a Bud fan, that's where I am. I want to see him step up. I want to see him fight the best. And as a Bud fan, I'll say that. So I'm happy to see this fight. Right? And I just want to say, Slancha, Merry Christmas. Everyone have a good one.
No doubt. Now, I'm going to end this shit off right, D. So, what's his name? Coach D, whatever the hell his name is, right? Everything you said was opinionated. You didn't say not one fact. The only fact you said was Bud knocked out Kavalauskas. That's it. That's it. You the one that don't remember shit that you said. And then when you do get reminded of what you said, you want to switch it up. Because that's what delusional people do. You can switch up shit. Oh, well, I meant, yeah, I bet you did mean this when you get your ass put on blast. I see you do mean something different. But whenever you're ready to step up to the debate, man, because everything you said, like D said, you can't have a fact on something that never happened. So you telling us Bud knocking out Shawn Porter is a fact? You're delusional. I deal with delusional people every day, man. So I know how delusional you are. You know what I mean? And then when people get their ass kicked or when they get proven wrong, they got to try to make themselves look like the victim. So you want to jump out there and say, "Oh, I did this, or I did that." Okay, feel good. What you say? A mental defeat. You try and cement this, and you think you go mentally defeat someone, but it ain't happening this way. Just like Shawn Porter ain't gonna mentally fatigue, I'm damn sure ain't gonna mentally fatigue, partner. So whenever you want to come back to D channel or my channel, because I'm still trying to get my live stream back, D, this shit should be coming in a couple of days. Hopefully it come in a couple of days. Shit, I'm praying to do. You feel me? Your ass is more than welcome to get this smoke and get your ass toe up, dog. Easy.
I didn't even know your shit got slammed, dog.
Man, my damn.
Hold on.
Nah, I ain't done. Yeah. So, coach, sit your ass back like I listen to your nonsense. Sit your ass back and listen. You feel me? Now, when it comes to Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, yes, it's levels. I feel like they're on the same level. When it comes to Shawn Porter, an A-level fighter, I do feel like he's on the same level. When you talking about, this and that and all of this shit, man, miss me with all that shit. miss me with it because we all know when you look at the resumes at 147, Terence Bud Crawford don't come close to Shawn Porter resume. He don't come close to Errol Spence resume, Danny Garcia resume, nor Keith Thurman or Manny Pacquiao resume. He got the weakest resume at 147 out there. The fighters that he whooped and he did that shit too, I'm still gonna stand on it. I feel like the other fighters can do to him as well, especially Errol Spence. So you can continue saying, "Oh, this opinion, that is an opinion." Everything you said was a goddamn opinion as well, son. So once we get down to the nitty gritty, Bud resume and the fighters that he did the shit, the fighters that he fought and that he did that shit against, he's supposed to do it too. Facts. He's supposed to do it too. You know understand me? It won no fight that he had at 147 that you said was a 50-50 fight to where he wasn't the fucking, that he was close to the underdog, bro. Everything.
Hey, Bonnie, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Coach, before you leave, bro, go over to the side in the private chat. Just put it in the private chat, your email or Twitter or something like that, so I could DM you. Because since my dude Money Tunnel down, we'll just have to set something up here. But I'll just set it up as a strict debate live, and it'll be y'all two 1-on-1. Like I'll just moderate it from behind the scenes. I'm gonna let y'all two be up on the screen. We'll set it up like that.
Yeah, set it up.
Yeah. We'll
But
set it
yeah,
up.
and I'm ending with this. At the end of the day, dog, Shawn Porter is gonna get Bud Crawford a hell of a fight. So all these cats that's sitting up here talking about, oh, Shawn ain't ready for Bud and Bud go knock him out, do this. Bring the money, coach. Bring the money. So we can put it up like D said. We can put that money up on the line whenever you're ready. You feel me? That Shawn Porter is not getting knocked out for no turns, Bud Crawford. And bring the money that you got that Bud is gonna beat Errol Spence. The 500 you say you got, bring that 500 and bring whatever you gonna bring. If Shawn Porter and Bud Crawford get made on Bud Crawford knocking out Shawn Porter, and don't bag back, don't renege. Don't sit your ass. You know what, D? I changed my mind now. I've been seeing the workouts. I think don't do none of that shit. Bring that money, put that shit up that you've been talking about that he gonna knock out Shawn Porter and put that money on the line and prove to me that you mean what the fuck you say. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, Jerome. Cut that out, man. Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you, Monty, Coach Jay. Look, like I said, Jay, make sure you put in that private chat. Okay, I got you. Put that in the private chat, Monty. You already got me, dog. You know what I mean? So, I'll get up with you, and we'll set this up part 2, man, because you guys gotta go through and hash this shit out. But I will say this, man, and this is one thing that a lot of people gotta realize too. I was just debating with Bill Haney crazy ass last night. That dude's funny as hell. I like talking to Bill though. But I was just debating with Bill earlier this morning, probably like 2 something in the morning. Me and fucking Bill Haney going back and forth. But sometimes at the end of a debate, you just gotta agree to disagree. You ain't gonna convince that man. He's not gonna convince you. Sometimes you just gotta agree to disagree. But I do think that this is unfinished business here because that was some fire shit. And if I had more time, y'all know I would rock for another hour, but I really got to go do something.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm glad he done came on 3-4 times to try to plead his sorry ass case on what he can and cannot do. Look up shit I said and did not see.
Yeah, Coach,
I'll be back, man.
Yeah. Come on back through, bro. We're gonna set this up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you up in your email and shit. We're gonna set it up, but I gotta get ready to jump out. But look, guys, I'm gonna give my closing thoughts on this. Terence Crawford, if Manny Pacquiao doesn't take the McGregor fight, which is highly unlikely, and you get the fight, fine, fight Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao drops the belt. Ugas gets elevated. You can get a fight with Ugas. Fine. Get the Ugas fight. But if none of that happens, Terence Crawford, you need to fight Shawn Porter. That's what I say. You don't have to. I'm not putting pressure on you. But that's the fight you need to take. If it ain't going to be Manny, it's not going to be Spence. If it's not going to be for that WBA title, then it should be Shawn Porter. And Shawn Porter, I don't care what anybody say, will be the best fight that Terence Crawford has faced in his entire career. Hands down. So, y'all know how I win in this thing. For the love of sports, Let's talk about it. Peace.